supposed to look.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to day number 2 of Port Elgin Pumpkinfest, coming to you live once again from the Bruce Power Growers Building is what we're calling it this year, better known as the Missionary Church in downtown Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. I'm Dave Middleton. I'll be joined by Robin Woods once again today for day number 2 of the Way Off. Second opportunity for many of these growers to have a chance to get on the leaderboard. We're going to have all the same items that we weighed and measured yesterday. We're just going to do it one more time today. Thank you for joining us at home online. For anybody live, we appreciate you joining us as well. Invite you to have a seat in one of the grandstands that we have here. Best way for everybody to be able to view the growers as we weigh things and go through this day, which will actually go, we hope, very quickly, but we'll see as we go. So, once again, joining me today, Robin Woods. Robin's job is to make sure we find out as much as we can about the growers. Our first grower is a brand new first-time grower for Pumpkinfest. Here's Robin.
We've had a lot of those this year, and as Dave said, we have similar items, not the same items. We have similar items to weigh, but different ones. Some of the growers brought many different items and held some back for today, and some are here for the first time. And what is your name?
Alice.
And where are you from?
Clinton.
Not too far. So this is the first time. How did you get into growing pumpkins? Did Dad convince you to try one? Yeah. All right, well, we have got it coming up. It's a beautiful color, nice and orange and round. You wander over to see Dave.
Come on over here. As a first-time grower, you have very important responsibilities. All right, you come on over here and stand here with me. All right, so the first most important responsibility you have as a new grower is to guess how heavy your pumpkin is. If you're close, you're good. You get to just get a picture with your pumpkin and leave. But if you're not close, we're going to make you do something. All right, how heavy do you think your pumpkin is?
400 pounds.
400 pounds. All right, I'm going to get you to move up this way a little bit. I know the TV part is hard. You're going to turn just like that. There you go. See, you're on TV. See over there? That's you. Wave. Wave to Mom. Hi. All right, there. All right, here we go. She guessed 400. I think that's a pretty good guess, actually. You have a very beautiful pumpkin, too. You know what? You know why the pumpkin stays orange like that? Because you showed it some love. That's why. Show your pumpkin love and they will be orange. All right. Can you, just give the slip to Morgan. All right. 482 pounds. Holy cow, let's give her a nice round of applause. The first time. That's close enough. You don't have to do the bad thing that we normally make first-time growers do.
It's not a bad thing. It's a fun thing.
It's a fun thing, but it can be a bad thing.
Maybe Dad will do it.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Dad has done it in the past. I remember that. All right, you're going to stand over here, and we're going to bring you a sign, and you're going to get a picture taken with your pumpkin. Give Ellis a nice round of applause. That's the first time she's ever grown a pumpkin. 482 pounds. You just get right up there. Put your hands on here. Like that. And then look to that lady over there. She's going to take your picture. Oh, my goodness. Now, get it off my scale. Take it. Take it and go. Our first pumpkin of the day is in. 482 pounds. Ellis did a great job. First pumpkin of the day. We do have some stuff on display from yesterday. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it as always. We do have some stuff on display already, Robin, so we should mention this. Some of the growers have stayed overnight. They brought some things for yesterday. They bring some things to also weigh and measure today.
We do have a big pumpkin that is right here, and everybody's looking at it going, ooh, is that the winner? That was second place, but still, it's nice that it is here so people can see just how big our second place pumpkin was, let alone what the winner is. And the 3 pumpkins at the far end were from yesterday as well, but we do have a number of things to get through today. We already have a sunflower in. We got 1 pumpkin in.
We've got a bunch of squash. We have 3 of them on display
and a
already.
few gourds to go through as well. And do remember that everything else at Pumpkinfest is going as well. The Giant Tiger Kitty Carnival, got the Midway ready to go. The car show is loading up. The artisans have got their craft show open, and make sure you stop by here and take it all in.
You have so much to do that you're just going to spend a little bit of time with us here in the Bruce Power Growers
Whenever you need
building.
a rest,
Yeah.
find a seat, rest your feet.
So the pumpkin we have on display, the big pumpkin you just saw a picture of if you're watching from home, is Jeff Warner from Englehart, Ontario. Englehart is north of North Bay. That one coming in at 1,805.5 pounds. That was yesterday's second place pumpkin. And we're going to leave that on display because people like to take pictures of really big pumpkins, so you can
And Jeff
certainly
is still
take a photo.
here. We'll see him again later today.
We are. We're looking forward to having Jeff back here. He's one of our mainstays of Pumpkinfest.
Yep.
Court family, they'll be back with a whole bunch of things, of course, today. Courtney, their granddaughter, is here. And it's just an opportunity for a whole bunch of people that didn't feel that they would compete with the Saturday growers. They'll come today with their items to try to get as much attention as possible. We did have a number of weigh-offs going off all over Canada yesterday. One of them happening in Alberta, where a brand new Canadian pumpkin record, we believe, that we still hasn't been confirmed, at over 2,509 pounds. That's the one we heard of, but again, we're waiting for confirmation.
Gotta get confirmation.
On that. So thanks very much for joining us online and live. You're certainly welcome to wander around and take a look at the items that we have on display. We appreciate you joining us again here in the Bruce Power Growers building. Want to thank 97.9 The Bruce, the radio station broadcasting live from Pumpkinfest today. Of course, Bruce Power, we've already mentioned them, a huge part of Pumpkinfest, and for that matter, just about every event that happens in our community. Bruce Telecom, Enbridge, OLG, Ontario Power Generation, Port Elgin Home Hardware, they are sponsoring the kids growers. We have kids coming in here at about 12:30 today. First time growers, there's a special kids competition. We've got Sunbelt Rentals, the Government of Ontario, Saugeen Shores, the town of Saugeen Shores, and our friends from Vanderwerf's Independent Grocer, just some of the sponsors of this event. And it takes a lot of sponsors to make this big of an event happen. It is an event that will have over 50,000 people attend in 2 days. The largest 2-day car show in the province of Ontario as well, and obviously some of the largest pumpkins in Ontario. Robin has our next grower.
We do have our next grower here, and your name?
David.
And where are you from? I see you've traveled a bit.
Yeah, just north of North Bay, Tilden Lake.
So do you know Jeff Warner? Did he get you into this?
Kind of more my brother, I guess, and now my brother's out, so I'm in.
There you go. And have you been here before?
No, first time.
Uh-oh. Dave might have something for you. So what are you thinking for a weight?
We were thinking about 8, 10, 8, 11.
All right, well, head over to Dave and we'll see. You need your slip? Head over to Dave and we'll see how it all works out.
Come on back here with me. All right. Did Jeff tell you, don't sneak a peek. Did Jeff tell you what you have to do?
We're supposed to guess, I think.
You are, and you guessed. You got to be within 50 pounds of being correct, and we won't make you do the initiation. Otherwise, you're a first-time grower. You guessed how much?
I'll say 8:30.
830 is his guess. And Morgan, the official number? 811.5 pounds. Give him a good round of applause. You're safe.
We said we were going to say 8:11, Jim and I.
Oh, no. That would have been fantastic. Get your photo taken. That is an amazing first-time grow. this is what happens at Pumpkinfest. So his friend grew the 1,805-pound pumpkin that we have on display here today, which was second place yesterday. He knows Jeff. Jeff gets in touch with him and says, hey, you should try this. First year, 800-pound pumpkin. That is huge. Now, what Jeff didn't tell you is what to do with it now. You have an 800-pound plus pumpkin. What are you going to do?
Well, we'll probably take it to a couple fairs up north and get it carved, hopefully, and kids can get in it and all that good stuff.
That's what you do. And the most important part of that, seeds. You're getting some seed out of that. Do you remember the seed that you used to grow this one?
Is it Detweiler?
Detweiler?
Detweiler.
Yep.
And there was another one. I'll have to cheat. Yeah, the other seed, because it was. Hold on, I got it. The other one was the Hunt Lions.
All right. We like to have them here. They usually come to the grow off as well. Hey, congratulations. Enjoy. Get a nice love with your pumpkin here for the next little while. The big part about growing pumpkins, so we just talked, Robin, about a couple of different names, right? A Detweiler, a Lions, a Hunt. So they are the people that grew other pumpkins. So I'm going to explain this in human being terminology. We are married. I know women are going, why would you marry that guy? But here, we are. So I am 6 feet tall. Robin is slightly less than 6 feet tall, like barely 5 feet tall.
I am not.
Yes,
I'm 5'2".
5'2".
Make me shorter than I am.
All right. And our children are 6'4". We have two boys, both of them 6'4". So that would indicate our DNA is good together. We grow something bigger, right? Same thing is true with pumpkins. So we take a pumpkin seed from this pumpkin, get it planted and growing. A pumpkin seed from this pumpkin, get it planted and growing. And then we do the mating. So, there it is.
Our flower has wilted, but
So we have the female and male portion of a flower. The pistil is the male portion, the flower is the female portion. Remember, we have to do the pollinating. Otherwise, a bee will pollinate your pumpkin with a rose. That's not going to work.
not going to help you.
Not going to be good.
No.
So you do the pollinating. We can see, if we look right there, you see a little flower. The little flower opens up only 1 week out of the summer. You have to be up and ready at 6 o'clock in the morning when that flower opens. You do the cross-pollinating, and the result is a baby pumpkin.
Once you get one growing, you take everything else off the vine so that the whole energy of the plant goes into your pumpkin.
And you can see that if we hold up just a small part of a vine, one end of the vine would be in the ground on the root, and the other end of the vine would have a pumpkin growing on it, but you'll see that there's nothing else. All of the energy goes to one thing, pumpkin or squash, watermelon, etc. They plant in May 2-4 weekend or near the end of May, so it's really only a 3.5 month growing season to get from nothing to 1,800 pounds.
But it's an intense 3 or 4 months because you're with it every day, feeding it, measuring it, loving it, keeping it warm. It is a lot, keeping the bears and the groundhogs and everything else away from it, making sure it's not cracking.
It's a long, sorted process. At the end of growing, that pumpkin can grow about 50 pounds in 1 day. And when that happens, the skin has to expand at the same rate or the pumpkin will basically explode. So there are a lot of things. You got to control the growth. You got to do all that. Then you got to get it here. So the pumpkins tend to be grown actually on top of the skids that you see. They're not grown on the ground because you have no way to get it at 1,800 pounds from there onto the skid. So grow it on the skid, pick it up, put it on the back of the truck, drive it here. To make sure you don't lose weight, take a bag or something with water in it. Put the end that you cut off the vine in the bucket of water or bag of water. The pumpkin will continue to drink. Remember, it's still trying to live. It's still trying to grow. That's how you lose as little weight as possible. So you could put a bag with a gallon of water in it, and by the time you get here, the gallon of water is gone. It will drink all of that. But that's simply so that you don't lose as much weight as you could have lost. So it's big, and we saw yesterday the difference between our champion pumpkin and second place, which is here.
Yep.
So that was about 80 pounds.
Yep.
And it's $1,500 difference for 80 pounds. So it's important to keep that weight.
Is this yours? Courtney?
All right, I believe we're going to do a little bit bushel gourd
We got a bushel
action.
gourd going, and returning today, she walked away with some nice prizes yesterday. We've got Courtney. What else do you have for us today?
I have a squash, a field pumpkin. They're weighing my bushel gourd right now. A marrow, I have a most unusual, and a cabbage. Sunflower face, tall, stalk.
Holy cow, you still have a lot to go. So bushel gourds, so these, for those who don't know, we have long gourds, which you would measure. They grow from the top down. This is a bushel gourd.
You can keep Courtney.
Well, keep Courtney over
yeah.
here. She's well
I like
experienced
Courtney.
at all
She-
this.
Yeah.
Ooh,
We got a big, huge bushel gourd.
it's better than your watermelon that you brought yesterday.
Yes. Courtney finished second yesterday in the watermelon competition with a 3.5-pound watermelon.
You could have got one at the grocery store and done better. But anyway, that's all right.
There weren't
She
a lot
still
of
got
watermelons
some.
in
No, not
yesterday.
yesterday.
Did you? Yeah, you should check for cement. Is there a hole anywhere in this thing? No. All right, congratulations. Give her a round of applause. That is a 242-pound bushel gourd. That's going to go, obviously, to the top of the leaderboard. It's our first bushel gourd in of the day today. So some of the other things, Robin, you mentioned it. We talked about a bushel gourd, which is a version of a gourd. We'll do long gourds here today. Long gourds are grown. That's the only item you're going to see. I don't see any in yet.
Not yet.
Long gourds are the only item that you'll see us do today that are not grown in the ground.
Well, it is.
Well, it's
The vine is on
yes.
in the ground, but the vine goes up, and then the gourd comes
The
from the top
gourd
down.
grows down. So the gourd itself is not in the ground. It just grows down, and that is simply the earth, right? The earth doing its work to pull the gourd down. Yesterday's leading gourd, 242 inches, I think. One of the things we did do yesterday was set a North American record for our sunflower.
Mm-hmm.
We had a sunflower in yesterday. I believe it was John Butler from St. Thomas.
Yep.
It was over 28 feet tall.
335 inches. We tried to put it up, but the flower head was too heavy. We hit the beams.
Yeah.
And it was still on probably a
60-degree
60-degree
maybe?
angle. We couldn't get it standing straight up and down.
Camera guy, can you go up to the beam? So here's how high that is. This is for people at home. I know those of you who are here in the building, entertain yourself for a sec. Just talk to each other. Yes, kiss Cam up in the back row. Good idea. All right.
So it would have been well past those beams that you see way above us.
And so congratulations. That was a brand new North American record. Very, very great to have that here. It's always nice to get a record somehow.
Absolutely.
Once or twice during each way season. Well, we do have a long gourd in now. We've got some sunflowers in.
Sunflowers are in.
We have a tomato in. We had 2 tomatoes yesterday weighed here at Pumpkinfest. A tie for the win. 2 tomatoes at 6.05 pounds each.
That has never happened before.
No.
How do you get a tie like that exact? But it happened.
Forget, how do you get a tomato like that? Well, we'll talk more about that because there's a very specific way to get your tomato to grow that big. So
our
lots of
sunflower
things
is on
happening.
display. Yep.
And we want to remind you that if you're going to come to the site, we certainly welcome you here. We've got a crazy good midway that's been just rolling all week. We got the Giant Tiger Kitty Carnival going on again today. We have the art show. Everywhere you look, you have options for food. There's a food court over here in the parking lot behind the Queens.
Yep.
We have, oh my goodness, what else? Car show. Forgot to mention that.
How can you forget the car show?
Cinderella's Carriage Classic Car Show. That's going on downtown. We had over 600 vehicles as part of it yesterday.
Once again, we are lucky enough to have live entertainment, so make sure you stop by the entertainment tent and the OPG tent. A lot of fun and exciting things for the kids there with science and animals. And
We have a pumpkin carver.
we do.
We have a
It's
pumpkin
just outside
carver
the
on
building
site
here.
just outside this building. And we have the bigger pumpkins from yesterday, one display here inside, and we have some that's on display outside as well if you want to take pictures. So there's certainly every single age something to do. And of course, we have to roll along with our way off very quickly today at 12:30.
Doesn't look like it, but we are.
We will.
There's lots of stuff going on in the background there.
At 12:30, we're going to have the children come in. We have about 25 kid growers who started growing this year. So we're going to get them to show us what they grew. That'll be fun. We got some awards and prizes from our friends at Port Elgin Home Hardware to give to them. At 1:30, we kind of close this building down because we have special children's entertainment coming up at 2:30.
Splash and Boots going to be here. Very exciting at 2:30, so we have to empty the building so they can do their sound check and all that. But it's going to be a very full day, and it's a beautiful day again. That's part of Pumpkinfest. What are we going to have for weather? But we got some beautiful sunshine. A little chilly just yet, but it'll warm up ever so nicely.
Yeah, we're starting to feel the temperature now here inside the building start to pick up. Everybody you're going to wear a fall jacket anyway. You might as well leave it on when you join us in the building. For anybody who's here in the building, crowds are starting to build up. We're starting to see them outside the building as well. You are welcome to join us for the way off. We hope that you're going to have a seat in the stands. It's the best way for everybody to get a great view of whatever it is that we're weighing or measuring. If you are standing along the orange chain, right now, not a big deal. We don't have a lot of people here, but at peak times here in the building, we're going to have 1,000 people or more. If it gets that stuffed, we ask you to make sure that you take a seat here in the building so that everybody can see. Everybody can see the growers, including one of the founding families of Pumpkinfest, and Robin is with Doug Court.
This is Courtney's grandfather, and Courtney did quite well. You didn't hear her, but she went, ooh, because sometimes even the growers are excited about how big and they're surprised. Now, you're hoping for a personal best here. If you guys can work on it, what are you looking for?
I hope, Robin, to have 300 pounds.
So if you could work on that over there, you two. 300 pounds is what, yeah, Dave's putting his foot on. I will just quickly say, Dave was talking about how you grow. You can get more information with what you've got on your shirt right there.
Yes, the Giant Vegetable Growers of Ontario, and we also cover Quebec, and we have members around the world, and they have their own website under Giant Vegetable Growers of Ontario, and lots of information.
All right.
So what did we, oh, no, he's got a foot on it.
We wanted 300. Just shy.
Still.
259 pounds of bushel gourd. You know what? One thing I've never asked a grower, Doug, what do we do with it now? I know what we're going to do with a pumpkin and a squash. What are we going to do with this?
Well, I'll check out the seeds. It's hard to believe, Dave, but sometimes the seeds are about 1.5 inches long with horns. And some of the seeds look like a watermelon seed, small and round. So if the genetics are there for a larger seed, I'll keep them. And, ready for this?
Yeah?
Those are the mother for a grafting on your watermelon. So,
All right.
the Mackenzies
Yes.
are experts at grafting. They'll look for some of the best bushel gourds, germinate them, and then graft a hybrid watermelon onto them.
Oh, there you go.
It's
I didn't know
allowed.
that. I didn't know that. Okay.
And Bomb Lane had the winning watermelon yesterday, like 175 pounds.
173,
So,
I think, yep.
there you go. Am I correct in that there's a link on the Pumpkinfest website to this as well?
Yeah.
To the growers?
Yes, there is.
So if you're looking, you're watching all this and you go, "Oh, I could do that. I want to give it a try." Pumpkinfest.org. You will find some information there. You will find the links to the Giant Vegetable Growers of Ontario website. There's a Canadian organization as well. Lots of information, not a lot of secrets. Each of them have their own secrets, but at least it will get you started.
It does. And grower seminars happening all over the place in the spring. You're welcome to attend those. Actually, they're probably inappropriately named. They are growers' parties, where you learn something about growing, is kind of the way it works. Usually a fun weekend around Niagara Falls where you get together for a weekend. Share seeds. Growers are very well known for helping each other out. You take one of my seeds, I'll take one of yours. We did have quite a few questions yesterday. So popular questions. How many seeds are there? For example, the big one we have on display right now, 1,805.5 pounds from Jeff Warner. How many seeds?
You have no idea. You open it up, you could have 10, you could have thousands. You have no idea.
Correct. We never know what's inside there. We don't know how thick it is. We don't know really much about what's inside that pumpkin whatsoever. However, we do know this. If it's a world champion pumpkin, the seeds inside it are worth more by weight than gold. About $500 per seed.
So you're hoping for a lot of seeds.
Yeah, you want a lot of seeds if you have a world champion pumpkin. Our largest here yesterday, 1,888.5 pounds, Dave McQuay.
Yep.
Dave's lifelong dream has been to win Pumpkinfest, and he won it yesterday. So good
Now
for
he's
him.
just aiming at 2,000,
Yes.
which is the bar that most growers are looking for pumpkin-wise these days. It's a hard marker to get to.
First goal is 1,000.
Yes.
Once you hit 1,000, that's when the other growers realize that you're a competition.
And then they'll stop helping you.
That's right. And then they don't share as much with you. When you get to 1,000 pounds, they start thinking that you might be
You
the
know
one
what
that's
you're
going to beat
doing.
them. Yeah.
You're good on your own.
Yeah. So also on display here in the building, things we're going to be showing you in a little while. I see a giant head of cabbage. So we're going to talk a little bit about cabbage, how they grow so big, the difference between the cabbage we are growing and the cabbage that you might see at your grocery store.
I see we've got a sunflower head. We also not only look at sunflowers and how tall they grow, but the actual flower. We give a prize for that as well.
Yeah, so we measure side to side on the sunflower face.
We've got a
corn
squash
stalks.
coming. I'm going to go find a grower.
I like that. So we're going to bring in, is this Courtney's squash? All right. We're going to bring in Courtney's squash right now. So you're about to see what happens when it doesn't become orange and a pumpkin. Squash and pumpkins can be very close together. In fact, yesterday we had a pumpkin that actually started as a squash and during the growing process converted to a pumpkin. It was a cross seed between a squash and a pumpkin, and it just happened that the pumpkin part came out. So this is Courtney's squash. We already met ya. We already know ya. But it's always lovely to have you. It's just like getting family back together. Isn't it? Pumpkinfest is just, you see all the growers and you see all these people and you're like, oh, I haven't seen you in a year. How are you? How are your kids? All that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, especially this year too. This year feels more normal than it's been in the past 2 years. We did really good in the past few years, being able to get together and do this still. So being back where things are more, open, it feels really good. Getting to see some people we haven't seen in a little bit is awesome too.
Yeah, and you, because of your grandma, you grew up in this environment, so you've known these people ever since you were like born.
Yeah, and like I said yesterday, I was like, I think my first Pumpkinfest was when I was 3 weeks old. Yeah.
I know, our kids grew up as part of Pumpkinfest as well. Super nice looking squash here. First one on the board, and it is a tough one to beat for the rest of the day. 825 pounds. Give Courtney a good round of applause. An 825 125-pound squash. Yikes, you are going to be one busy little baker here real soon. Yeah. You usually get the question about, is this edible? No one knows. Again, we don't know how many seeds are in there. We don't know anything about the interior. Is it edible? Maybe. Is it likely? No. It's likely has a very woody content. It kind of, it's just not the kind of thing you'd want to eat. That's done to get the seeds. This is a sunflower.
This is Courtney's as well. As I said, not only do we take a look at sunflowers and how tall they are, but we also have a category for the biggest sunflower, and they will do it, yes. Diagonal?
Yeah, across that way.
Not circumference.
No.
And you can see that she's taken all the seeds off of it.
No, actually, I'll bet you what happened was birds. So what happens is this is still sitting out in the field, right? So here's like one seed left right here. What happens is the birds, if they get to it first, they're going to strip all the seeds off of there because it's food, right? Bird food. So if you want to take that on a little walk, people can see that. You'll see there are no seeds in here.
But she probably took what were left.
She'll have a few.
Off of there,
Yeah.
so she has more for next year. And usually, so I hear, if you have a sunflower in by Canada Day, it will be at its peak by the time we get to Pumpkinfest.
So again, we're not talking about long duration growing, right? We're talking about 2 to 3 months worth of growing these things to get them to the size they are. Very rapid and controlled growth, whether it's pumpkin, squash, watermelons, or what have you. These are very experienced expert growers. Can you become a very experienced expert grower? 100%. They love it. When you talk to one of the growers and say, you know, I'm interested in doing this, you have a friend for life. They will take you under their wing and train you on how to do this. Number one, be prepared. This is not something that you plant a seed and come back in a few weeks. This is something that you plant the seed and you are there every day. You are watering every day. You are fertilizing every day. You are supporting the vine every day. You are making sure that animals aren't getting at it. You're making sure that the plant is healthy, not being infected. There's a lot of stuff you have to do on a daily basis. And we mentioned yesterday, the champion pumpkin from yesterday worth $3,000 to the winner. $3,000. And we hear that and we go, hey, that's pretty good money. If you divide that by the number of hours you spent on the pumpkin or squash, you would have been better to be a greeter at Walmart. You will not get the same amount of pay. It's not pay that this is about whatsoever.
But if you watched the award ceremony yesterday, you will notice that a number of our growers got at least a top 3 placement in a number of different categories, which is why the growers bring so many things.
Correct.
Because it just all adds up. And a lot of things, Paul just showed me a picture of his front yard. It is full of sunflowers, and that's thanks to the birds. He has not planted any sunflowers in 4 years. The birds just keep.
Right.
Now, if he loved those, one of them could come to Pumpkinfest. But and that's why all the growers bring different things. Yes, a lot of their effort will go into the pumpkin because that's where the biggest money is. But then you do the sunflowers, you do the gourds, you do the watermelon, and it all adds up in the long run.
Correct. I'm thinking we're gonna bring Doug Court's squash, I believe. It is.
It is Doug's.
All right, so the only person Doug is competing with at the moment is his own granddaughter, Courtney McGuire.
She's at 825. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking 826.
You also were hoping for 300 with the bushel gourd, so I don't have a lot of faith in your guessing ability at this moment, Doug.
All right. Another big squash. Courtney was 825. Judge Paul not risking life or limb today, letting them sit it down before he went anywhere near it.
So
And-
Doug is going to go home and have a beer because he's very upset that his vegetables are letting him down.
732 pounds. Give him a nice round of applause.
Nothing wrong with that, though, Doug.
No.
Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong with that.
If it wasn't for Doug Court and a gentlemanly bet, what was the year of that? 1989, 86?
Yeah, you were 16.
If it wasn't for a gentlemanly bet by Doug Court and a friend, we would not likely be here today. Tell us a little bit about how did Pumpkinfest come about? Because that's exactly what happened. It was a bet that's gone crazy.
Well, I've always liked growing vegetables, but my wife was a member of the 4-H group. And you had to grow so many items in a 4-H group to be a member at that time in the 1960s. So, since we were married in the 60s, I don't remember what date or what time. We went through this yesterday. Long story short, I took over the garden and I grew what they called a Hungarian squash. And goodbye, Louise's garden. It killed everything in the garden for the 4-H membership. And hence, from there, I just picked up, and I thought, let's have a big show. That's how it happened. I blame Louise.
Oh, really? We didn't get a picture. Doug, do you
Wow,
want
I
a
think we
pic-
should ask Louise about that.
Doug, do you want a picture
Did you
with
want
your
a picture
squash?
with yours? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. So, Pumpkinfest started actually just as a bet. It eventually moved to Coulter Parquet. So that is from where we are right now. If you just turn left, go down that street, go towards the car show, you'll see a parquet on the right-hand side. That's Coulter Parquet. So that's where the first really official Pumpkinfest happened. Then it moved from there to the curling club. That is when we got involved in it.
Where
And-
it took about, like the Way Off Park was in half of it, and the Kiddie Carnival was in the other half. That was the extent of Pumpkinfest.
Right. And the football team from the high school moved the pumpkins around. And
Can't
then,
do that now.
No. Then we had a lot of high school age kids with hernias, so we had to stop that. The year that our son was born, Tyler, our oldest son, who's now 28, that's when Pumpkinfest took off. It went from the curling club to the high school, under the big tent. It ran there for a long time, and then we got super lucky. The Missionary Church, which is where we are this morning, they gave us a chance to come into here. And this has been the best thing ever for Pumpkinfest, as everything gathers in one area. So we have the food court, we have the Midway, we have the kiddie ride, we have the, you name it, the petting
The
zoo,
car show,
everything.
it's all concentrated here. It is wonderful for the businesses downtown and for the people who visit, because before when we were at the high school, it was a bit of a walk.
It was a
And
long walk,
some people, it was too much of a walk to get to the car show and then walk the car show. So now it is all downtown, and it is just, it's a great event. It's all right concentrated here.
So we want to even, you should get a picture of Cindy over there. Why? He's just going to get a picture of you. You look great. These folks run the Missionary Church run. You should get him in there too.
Yeah, you got it.
They are responsible for this church, the Missionary Church, which on regular services, 100 to 150 people on the floor that we're on right now for their services. They do like ball hockey, they do basketball, they do all sorts of different things in here. Thank you to you guys.
Yes,
this is
thank
an
you.
awesome
And do
place.
remember, mark on your calendar, October 16th.
Oh, yeah.
Because some of the pumpkins are going to be left behind, and they do a pumpkin drop. If you want to see what happens when you take an 800-pound pumpkin, put it in the air, and drop it, this is the place for you. Wear a rain slicker, though.
We actually live on Mill Street, which is the side street here. If you go down Mill Street, we're 2 blocks away, and we can hear them drop the pumpkins.
We could see an odd seed or
yes.
something come flying by
It's
our house.
awesome.
The Mackenzies are back today.
All right, so this is Bob and Elaine McKenzie. They are from Tiverton, one of our local growers who will consistently come to be a part of Pumpkinfest. And yes, this is a cabbage.
Now, I want to say a big thank you to them. We had a teacher here yesterday who had talked about to his students Pumpkinfest and what goes on, and they were amazed. So Bob and Elaine didn't want the cabbage they brought yesterday, and they donated it so it's going to a high school in Kitchener, and they're going to learn all about large vegetables.
Awesome. See, you guys, and somebody, yeah, if there's a high school that wants another cabbage, they'll give this one away too. Sorry, what's the weight first? 41.5 pounds worth of cabbage.
42.
42.
It's bouncing back and forth.
42.
But yesterday's was 45, 47? Yeah, 47 was yesterday.
All right, so if we can get Morgan to go to one side, I'm going to show folks in here, this is the head of the cabbage. It's great sauerkraut. And for a family of 40. That's the head, which is what you normally would buy at a grocery store, right? Not all of but the leaves are actually a part of the entire plant. Now, the seed that you're going to use from the one you got at the grocery store is a little different than the seed that is this, but that's how experts grow. Can I take one of the big leaves? I'm going to take this. Okay. I'm just going to break one leaf. Oh my goodness, there. So, whoop, I had two. All right, here, we'll put that one back there. Oh my goodness. So that is the,
The leaf one, a
size
penny and a half.
of one leaf from about a 42-pound cabbage. There's one leaf. There's Dave's head. Approximate size of an African elephant's ear. It's about the size of one leaf from 42 pounds worth of cabbage. There you go. A little bit different than what you're used to seeing at the grocery store, but in essence, same plant, just hybrid to make it bigger. All right. And people are often amazed by the size of our pumpkins or squash. And this is, part why you're amazed. So I am actually holding about 3-4 feet worth of vine that a giant pumpkin was grown on. We're going to talk more about the vine here in just a couple of minutes. That is almost 20 pounds worth of vine that I'm holding on to. All right, it's super heavy, and the result of that is what we're going to see.
Which belongs to Bob and Elaine as well. I said, "Oh, is this your pumpkin?" And she goes, "No, I don't think so. She looks different out of her bed. It looks smaller." Yes, did you weigh a pumpkin yesterday? It was over 1,200.
This is measured 1122.
1122 is what it's measuring. I think you might be off a little.
A little heavy.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow. Oh, you're 11. I would have said you're probably pretty close. So we'll talk more about the measurement here in a minute. How about 1,402 pounds? Okay, you're all too stunned to clap. I can hear the people at home clapping. 1,400. They are as surprised as the rest of us are. That is, okay. So let's now talk about what happened there. Likely the interior of that pumpkin is very thick, which weighs heavy. And that is golden seed inside that pumpkin. Yeah. When you see a pumpkin that size that weighs that heavy, there's no one getting any of that seed. That seed is going to come out of that pumpkin, be crossbred with another good seed to see if we can make something bigger, because that is a heavy pumpkin compared to size.
Yes, and what there is a chart that the growers have made. They do 3 measurements. One is from end to end, one is around, and
one is over.
And one is over. So they do the 3 measurements, and then they go to a chart that they have compiled, and that's where they assume a weight. It gives them an idea. So according to the measurements, that pumpkin was 1,100. So obviously the walls are a little thicker than expected.
Yeah, that is a great, that seed is the valuable part of that pumpkin right there. Sure, it's going to become a big jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, it might go to a grocery store or to a county fair where people are going to guess the weight and win a prize. All sorts of different things you can do with it, but ultimately, somewhere in the future, we're going to cut that one open and get every seed out of there you can possibly get, because that's years worth of growing right there. All right, so let's do this vine thing. And actually, it might have come from the Mackenzies from yesterday. Okay. Oh. All right, so this is a vine from a giant pumpkin. So we see at that end, the root end, or what was in the ground, right? That's the root end of the pumpkin. And then we see the other end where something was cut off. Usually they run about 20 feet in length. As I said, this is approximately, I think we weighed it yesterday, it's about 20 pounds. So I'm gonna have a big strong guy come pick this up. Come on over here for a second. Hang on, wait, are you ready? It's not light. It is very heavy, I know. So now you're gonna be my display guy. Just walk around with it a little bit and show everybody while I talk about it. So you're gonna see the root end, you're gonna see the other end. Remember, it's about 20 feet in length. It's heavy. If you wanna pick it up, just ask him. He'll gladly hand it over. Oh, you gotta go all the way around. There's more people over there.
You are now employed by Pumpkinfest.
Yes, you're now a volunteer. So, you'll notice also there are no other plants, right? They're all cut off. We grow one pumpkin, one squash, one watermelon, etc. That way all the energy from that plant can go to one thing to maximize the growth.
And if you feel how heavy that is, that's why there is a rule that there can only be an inch of vine left on the stem of the pumpkin, because it will add
a lot of weight.
Probably another, even that inch would add another 5 pounds.
Yeah, for sure. Also, you have to support the vine. So when it's growing in the plot, you've got to put dirt or something underneath the vine to support it. It is so heavy, and if you don't believe me, just ask him to hold on to it for a sec. It'll actually break itself while it's growing because it's just too heavy. So we talk about the amount of time that it takes to grow a giant pumpkin or a giant squash. That's part of that time commitment. You are out there every day, maintaining the vine, feeding it, watering it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wait a minute, is there blight? Has something got on the leaf? We got to clean that, we got to dry it. What about all of a sudden there's a hole in my pumpkin? How do I get it to dry out and go together so that it doesn't, it is heavy, right? Like you don't want to carry that for a long time. Let's just see. I think we said it was, I'm going to say 17 and a half. Sorry, 19 and a half. That was close.
And we say the measurement, they don't just measure because they're coming to a competition like this. They will do it as the growing process goes along, because you want to know that your pumpkin is still growing. If it's not still growing, then you're not going to be out there every day looking after it. If it has stopped growing, then you stop looking after it.
We had a story yesterday of a gentleman that had one over 2,000 pounds. It was growing about 50 pounds a day, sitting at about 2,040 pounds, and then it got a crack, and he couldn't get it to dry up and close up, and then it just basically exploded. He put it on a trailer, took it before he got rid of it, just at the dump, and weighed it. It was over 2,040 pounds, and it was just starting to grow.
2,400 pounds.
2,400 pounds, yes.
So this is a nice looking squash. And this belongs to the Mackenzies as well.
They are about to challenge for the lead, I think, here.
They could dominate the leaderboard here.
Bob and Elaine McKenzie are currently our big pumpkin. I don't know, is there anything that will beat that? I think there is. Yeah, at least one, yeah. And it might come from somewhere north. Yeah. Will a squash beat this, though? Wow. How about 1,035 pounds of squash?
You've got yourself some good seeds this year.
Holy smokes.
890 pounds it measures.
It measures. What did you do in your soil this year?
I don't think you're measuring right. Get your picture taken. Here comes the board.
Wow. All right, they now take over the lead in both the pumpkin and squash category. And if we check out our current leaderboard, as Bob and Elaine McKenzie get their photo taken, we've got a field pumpkin in of 45 pounds. A field pumpkin is what you think of as a pumpkin. That's a field pumpkin. We have a long gourd in at 85 inches. We're going to bring that over and we'll explain a little more about what long gourd is all about. Cabbage, 41.5 pounds, Bob and Elaine McKenzie. Look at this consistent thing at the top of the board. The big tomato right now, just under 4 pounds. Again, Bob and Elaine McKenzie. Sunflower, Courtney McGuire in at 202.5 inches. So that's the height of her sunflower. Sunflower face, Courtney also in the lead at 20 inches wide. The bushel gourd, Doug Court, 259 pounds. A marrow from Louise Court, 41.2 pounds. And our other category, Courtney in, and I can't read that because it's in blue, but 32.2. So this is this bigger? It might not even be up on the board yet. And who is this one? Yep, this is a new one. Oh, did they just up it? Oh, yep. Okay, so we're going to stand this up. Here, I'll put my foot down. Just walk it up. There it is. All right, so that's called a long gourd. We saw the bushel gourd, which was about 260 pounds. There's another one called a bell gourd. Looks like a bell. Predominantly used for things like wine storage or for bird houses. And then this is called a long gourd. So it's a plant, but what you do is grow it top down. So it's seeded top down. The gravity pulls this down. So basically once you have it planted, you tie it to a trellis or a piece of wood, and you just keep adding pieces of wood as it grows longer and longer and longer. These are more, we've heard of people, and I've never tried it, but if you slice this and you fry it in, I'm going to say butter, because I'm an old guy, so we fry things in butter. If you slice it and fry it in butter, it could be edible. We don't know again until we break it open, but that's a long gourd. So if you were going to start growing something, this is a good one to start growing, because the maintenance on it is
You just have to have the
less.
trellis made.
Yeah, you just need something to tie it to.
We have a couple of watermelons on the skid ready to go. Don't do that
I'm
until
going to let it.
Just wait.
Oh, sorry.
So we've got Louise on the tarp, and we've got Doug closest to the camera. Those are the two watermelons we're about to weigh. So this is Louise's.
Right?
Yes.
And a watermelon of 149. I got 149 and a half. Is that right? I don't know. It depends on what the judge wrote down. All right. You didn't clap? That's 150 pounds worth of watermelon? Thank you.
There you go.
You can stay. I got a funny feeling that's going to be our leader for 18 seconds.
Till we get Doug's on the...
Doug's is going to take a bit of work.
Yes. Do not hurt yourself, Jeremy. Oh,
That's
sorry.
a good point. Our judge has asked a very important question. Why does Doug get the big one? Okay, that's just a question. You guys can mull that over at home before next year.
Oh, by the way, Louise, he blames Pumpkinfest all on you. It's all your fault. And
4-H.
Yes,
There
it
it
was
is.
part of, he did mention 4-H as well.
So what's our personal best for watermelon? 177? Well,
Oh, you
it
beat
used
that.
to be.
You got a heavy watermelon anyway, Doug.
187 and a half pounds of watermelon. Wow. I will say we've had watermelons over 200 pounds that we have opened up before, and we ate them while we were here. So watermelon tends to be one of the ones that we can eat. They are usually pretty good, really super sweet. Yeah. Cool. We need to check. We've got some people in the building now. Do you want to do a pan shot here? We'll show that there's actually, for those of you watching at home, we're not talking to ourselves. Like there's real people
Like
here.
we did in the last 2 years.
True.
Yes.
All right, there, everybody wave at home. If you're wanted by the cops, cover your face. All right, good. And we got people all the way down the other side of the building too. How many people are here for Pumpkinfest for the first time? Never been here before. Lots of people
there you
around the
go.
back.
Very good.
Lots of little baby first time back there, a little baby.
Shocking.
No. Good. Then another little baby. All right. How many people over here first time? Good. Nice to have you here. Good, good. All right. Is anyone from outside of Ontario? So not in the province of Ontario. Oh, Robin's got some people. She's going to go look for them. Let's find out
So where are
he's
you
got
from? Newfoundland. We were just saying how I think all of Ontario emptied out into Newfoundland over the summer. We all went there. Well, welcome.
What part of Newfoundland? Wait.
St. John's.
We were there.
Yeah.
We were there.
I'll drop by and say hi next time.
Wait, let's ask them. Do you guys know Barb
And Gary.
And Gary
Pinsent.
Pinsent? You don't know them? Oh, all right, never mind. That's Barb and Gary Pinsent, the Newfoundland Curling Club. Sorry, St. John's Curling Club. All right, we should say hi to them. Hi, Bob. Hi, Barb.
And where are you from?
Alberta, Calgary.
Ooh.
I think a lot of Alberta is here. We had Moose Jaw and
Red Deer.
Red Deer here yesterday. Very nice. Well, welcome. What do you think? Alberta has this as well. Have you
Yeah.
ever been?
What was the little town? Hold on, I have a note. You Kibitz. I'll find out where it was from.
They did have a way off yesterday in Alberta and had a massive pumpkin. Dave's
All right,
going to look
I
up
made a
his...
note.
Yeah.
It is a new Canadian pumpkin record, unofficially at this point, at the Great White North Pumpkin Festival in Smoky Lake, Alberta. Do you know where that is?
Nope, she doesn't.
You know anybody from Smoky Lake, Alberta? Okay.
No.
Gentleman's name was Don Cruz, 2,537 pounds.
That is a hefty
Yeah.
pumpkin.
That's cool.
Here we go.
All right.
I'm amazed that that you're standing. Was the party? I heard the party was at your room last night.
No, you got to hear the story though. But what room you sent them to? You know what room he sent them to?
What room did I so
You
we
said 39?
36.
36.
You sent them to Elaine Mitchell's room.
Well,
You had to throw Oreo cookies to get them all away.
Jeff is our regular
squash.
Jeff is a regular from
squash.
North Bay. Well,
Yeah.
just outside of North
Outside
Bay.
of North Bay. This is our Englehart person.
So we have on display one of our big pumpkins from yesterday. That's 1,800, 8.5 pounds. Jeff is the one that brought that from Englehart.
And that was second place from yesterday.
Yeah.
But a darn good effort. If you feel like giving him a round of applause for an 1,800-pound pumpkin,
Yeah,
please
I think
do.
you should. Plus, he's an okay guy.
He's a pretty nice guy. Except he doesn't take ownership. You notice how he didn't correct you
That's correct.
on the hotel room.
That is correct.
Just let it happen.
So Elaine partied all night.
370 pounds, so we're going to put him up there at fourth spot on the leaderboard.
There you go.
Give our good friend Jeff a nice round of applause. He's also a great person to talk to if you want to get into growing. He sucks a lot of people into doing this. How far north of North Bay is Englehart? 3 hours? There he is, 2.5 hours north of North Bay.
North Bay.
Yeah. He has yet to invite us to go to his home. I'm a little put out by that. You have yet to invite Robin and I to visit you for a day or two. Oh, is it? I got to be careful because you're going to tell me your house number and it'll be incorrect. Yeah. Awesome. What do you come on over this way because I think it's worth talking a little bit. What do you actually do in Englehart? Because I mean, this isn't you do this in another way.
So we run a garden center, strawberry picking, corn maze, pumpkins, that kind of stuff. So all those sort of outside stuff. Got a whole bunch of greenhouses and I don't know, landscaping, a little bit of everything.
This was just so. How did this come about when you're just doing like the regular stuff?
Because I got told that where we live you can't grow a giant pumpkin, so I had to prove somebody wrong 20 years ago, and I just kept doing it.
Well, 1,800, 8.5. Is that your biggest?
Yeah.
Can we get to that 2,000 pound mark next year? We had 2 pumpkins this year over 1,800.
Yeah, we got to get there soon. It's going to happen.
All right. It's always great. You know that. We love having you here. He's a good guy. Oh, he's going to come with a pumpkin, too. Remember when Bob and Elaine McKenzie weighed in their pumpkin and it came in at 1,400 pounds, and I turned to Bob and said, how long is that going to be on the leaderboard or the leader for? And Bob said, not very long. That's why it won't be here very long. That guy.
It's
Just
Jeff's
wait till you see
other
it.
one.
Yeah.
That was one. He's got another one.
Well, and so here's the other thing to think about. Jeff drives 3 hours to North Bay, another 3.5 hours, 4 hours to here. So it's a 7-hour trip with an 1,800 pound pumpkin, a 300 pound squash, and we don't know what this other pumpkin weighs, but it's going to be close to that 1,700 pound, maybe 1,800 pound mark. So he has 4,000 pounds worth of stuff on a
In
trailer.
tow.
Yeah. The bad part about this is when our growers are traveling here, if they stop for a
coffee,
washroom break or whatever,
yep.
it takes 2 hours before you can leave again.
For one, you got to find a parking space big enough for all the stuff you've got in tow. And then 2, everybody sees it and starts asking questions.
Questions, pictures, comments. You never leave again. You're 2 hours. Some of the people we didn't have here this year from Ormstown, Quebec, the Bryson family, for example. We want to say hi to them because I'm sure they're watching this morning. They had a great time. They did a way off actually in Ormstown as part of their fair this year, and which was kind of put together by the Brysons who were here before. So we got to say hi to them because they're good people. We like them.
All right, they're already on your side, so you can have a chat with them.
Oh my goodness. Come on over here. How are you, Ralph? Good to see you. Ralph Giffin, Barrie, just outside of Barrie.
Just outside of Barrie, yep.
Right, all right. Well, tell me about the growing season this year.
A lot better than last year.
Oh, yeah.
We had nothing to bring up here last year. I don't know if it had to do in the fall of 2020, I seeded the whole pumpkin patch to a winter rye, and then it came up good, and then it kept growing next year, like in the summer. Right. And I just disked rows where we're putting the giants, almost nothing. Yeah, so I don't know why everybody else says rye is a good thing to plant, but it didn't work for us.
It's definitely a good thing to drink. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was a personal moment. All right, so this is a bushel gourd, so we're going to put this up on the weigh scale. Ralph Giffin, Spring Mount, actually, just outside of Barrie. All right, do we have oh, it's just got to brush it off. You can see this one, I'm not sure if it was because of growth or not. If we can, yep, you can see it well on the screen. Right in here, you can see some cracks that developed. Was that just growth, or do you know? You don't really know? Okay. Yeah, growth and old age, according to Ralph. And those cracks, if there's a crack at a pumpkin squash, anything that we're doing today, watermelon, otherwise, a crack that goes all the way through to the interior of whatever it is not legally weighed. We'll still weigh it, but it doesn't qualify. They all look good. Oh. It's a beautiful bushel gourd. 259, our current leader. Not going to go to the lead. That is a nice bushel gourd. 196.5 pounds. You can give him a nice round of applause. That's going to put him to third spot on the leaderboard. What else did you come with today?
Pumpkin, squash, and most unusual vegetable.
What did you bring that's unusual?
It's kind of a gourd that looks like a snake.
Oh, all right. We'll take a look at that in a little while. Go get your picture taken.
Close to it, though.
Oh, don't get too close to it. So there's a gentleman who a couple of years ago had a problem with the field that he was growing in. Pumpkins didn't grow, squash didn't grow. Has had a chance to kind of reinvigorate the soil. That's a bushel gourd. He brought a pumpkin, a squash, and other items as well. And drives over from Barrie, so Springmount, just outside of Barrie, so about a 2.5, 3 hour trip. These items are picked this morning. For the most part. They may have been picked late last night, but to lose as little weight as possible, pick them as close as you can to the time of the weigh-off. So they're getting picked and brought here today. There's a couple of items that, obviously, Jeff coming from north of North Bay, his trip's a little bit longer, so he's picking Friday, making the drive, and then we have the weigh-off Saturday and the weigh-off Sunday. So his items have been off the vine for a couple of days.
You'll hear some of them say most unusual, which is basically, you can tell we have certain categories that we always have. Pumpkin, squash, gourd, sunflowers. And then you get other things. We had a carrot yesterday. That was huge. If you find something huge, you can bring it, and it goes in the other category. We also have most unusual, which basically means it's a really ugly vegetable that
Let's bring it up.
Really big, but it is
so
different.
This is a long gourd, or is it correct? Okay.
Oh.
It grew on the ground instead of being suspended. Yeah, so.
So it curled up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I say that the volunteers out there doing the unloading, 110% this year. Really good guys.
We also think the announcers are pretty good people. The TV guy is okay. The sound, Cindy's pretty good.
I'd say the announcer is on a level plane. He's not getting any worse.
You're a good guy.
Thank you very much.
Where are you going next year for the weigh-off? Just kidding. Wherever they'll let you. Oh, it's great. We've been mentioning to a couple of the growers, oh yeah, this is his pumpkin. Well, we've been mentioning to the growers too, it's fun to get back together. Last couple of years with COVID, of course, we haven't had people here to be able to watch the weigh-off and be able to be a part of the event. We've had a chance to see the growers, but there's been no fans, and the growers talk about Port Elgin Pumpkinfest because of you. I mean, they love doing this. They love being on TV. They love having people see their stuff. But
seeing all the volunteers, but it's the crowds that Pumpkinfest brings, and they just they love showing off their babies.
50,000 people attend this event over 2 days.
But he made a good point. There are a lot of volunteers that are needed to make this thing work, and they are all absolutely wonderful. We appreciate all the time that they give us to put this, to set it up, to tear it down, to deal with showing you around and helping you out while you are here enjoying all there is to enjoy.
And we're going to check out Ralph's pumpkin now. Leader 1402.5. Well, this one's not going to get there, but I think we got a third spot on the leaderboard. It is a solid 708 pounds. 708 pounds, so that'll follow in at third on the leaderboard. That's a good job. After having a couple of years, Ralph, where or at least 1 year where things just didn't work out on the field, you're really kind of building your program back up again.
Well, I don't know about other growers, but it seems for us every other year.
Okay.
1 year you're good, and then the next year the bar drops a little bit.
I think Leaf fans would agree with you.
Big time.
Yes, big time. All right, get your photo taken. Maybe this year. Actually, we're pretty excited in this area. The Owen Sound Attack is a really highly touted junior team this year. Didn't lose a game in exhibition and have won their first 2 games of the season, beat London in London, beat Kitchener last night. In
Against
Owen Sound.
division rivals, so
Yeah.
that is a big way. And they need only 10 regular season wins this year to hit a franchise record of 700 wins, so they are nicely on their way.
Yeah, we actually want to be that little team nobody talks about until the very end. That's us. All right. Oh, wait.
Do you remember Adrian Gervais?
I loved Adrian Gervais.
The last pumpkin he grew, I think, was in 2014, 1,276 pounds, I think. And this pumpkin was from that pumpkin.
seed.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we talked about a little earlier, Ralph, is trying to get people to understand that really the whole purpose behind this is trying to get a better and better and better seed every year, right?
Yep. Yeah, we don't usually get higher than what the seed was, but we have fun doing it and trying it.
Yeah, purifying it and keep on going. We look forward to you getting back above that 1,000-pound mark next year. That's the challenge, right?
Well, you're setting the bar pretty high, but we'll do our best.
That's my job. Good to see you again, my friend. Ralph Giffin out of Springmount, just outside of Barrie. Well, we got a second here. I think Robin's trying to grab some stuff to show you. Anybody have any questions? If you're at home, don't send us a question. We'll never get it. But does anybody have a question about any of this stuff? No? You're just amazed by what you're... That's awesome. Good. Whose is this one? Oh, this is the one we just did. Sorry, I thought you brought another one already. I thought you guys were fast. All right. Well, it appears that we're going to have a look at a tomato.
Now this, I don't believe, is on the board just yet.
You want me
this
to
is
hold it?
Joel's. I got it. Yeah.
All right.
It's well distributed. But this, I think, would have beat yesterday's. I think
Really?
this is slightly over 6 pounds. 6 pounds of tomato. It's not pretty, but it will win probably a decent amount of prize money today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tomatoes, carrots, other things like that. Basically, it's multiple seeds growing together to make something that big. So over 6 pounds. Yeah, wow. That is, so our tied winners yesterday in the tomato category were 6.05 pounds. So very similar to yesterday's champion, that tomato. All right, this is another bushel gourd. And come on over here. Actually, you want to give the judge the sheet, or did he give it to you? I already got it. Okay. And your name?
Joseph.
Joseph.
Giffin.
Well, you might be related to somebody.
Maybe, yeah.
So is that how you got into this? Did he make you do it, or did he ask you if you wanted to do it?
Neither. I wanted to try myself.
Oh. Awesome. And is the whole goal just to beat him at some point?
You try.
Yeah, so far not happening?
Well, maybe with this.
All right, that's what I like to see. All right, let's take a look. We have a bushel gourd, and it's 213 pounds. Indeed, he beats Ralph Giffin. This is Joseph Giffin. Yeah. Wow. Apparently you should run for council. These people would vote for you. Do you know them? Lady in the red? Lady in red. Yeah? Who's that?
Rachel, his girlfriend.
All right. His girlfriend, and you're just a friend? Okay, so at what point did you think it was a good idea to help? When he said, I have a 214-pound bushel gourd, could you help me move it around? He's an all right guy. Usually it costs money.
I think it needs to be more than an all right guy.
Yeah. You'll notice we don't have many people helping with the 1,400-pound pumpkins.
No, we have certain people who deal with that, dealing with the harness. And we mentioned yesterday, Bruce Power is one of our major sponsors. And the harness that they use, that you see them lifting all these massive vegetables, came from Bruce Power. They got to a point where these are really heavy. One, is the forklift going to go forward? And two, how do you get a harness that's going to support up to 2,000 pounds, maybe even beyond 2,000 pounds? The harness that you see on TV right now, and the one that is coming with this squash, that was developed by the brains at Bruce Power. It is now used at just about every way off around.
It is, and that one actually had to be re-sewn a couple of years ago. They had to redo all of the straps on it because it wasn't designed for 2,000 pounds. Now we're getting close to the 2,000 pound mark, so eventually there'll have to be another redesign. But again, a big thanks to our good friends at Bruce Power, major sponsor of this event, the folks who actually designed the hoist that we use and built it. They did all the work, so a big thanks to them. And Robin is correct. It's now used worldwide. Every Way Off uses something similar. Growers have them in case they didn't grow that item on the skid. That's the way for them to get it onto the skid. You just don't have enough friends to be able to move a 2,000 pound pumpkin. Yes, sir. It's soft. We must weigh quickly. It won't count, so we're going to weigh it, but we're going to. Okay, so perfect. Let me explain that. So the judge's job is to check and make sure the item is solid. This one, unfortunately, is soft on the bottom, which means that it legally isn't entered with a weight, but we're still going to weigh it. It's just it can't legally be part of the competition, just because of the rules. Friend?
Friend.
What's friend's name?
Chris.
All right, Chris. You're a pretty good friend to come and do this. You could have done many things today. What other things would you have chosen to do?
Grow a better squash.
That's a good answer. All right, so it's not going to be a part of the competition, but we do want to find out what it weighs because you may want to use that seed again. 538 pounds. So that's actually a very heavy squash for the size of it, which means your next job as friend will be to cut that open and harvest all the seeds, right?
Sounds good.
All right. Give him a nice round of applause. That's a good friend who will travel with you and help you move stuff around. We're looking for a small item that weighs heavy. That is an indicator of a really good DNA seed. So it's pretty basic, just works like human beings do, right? We have a dad and we have a mom. In our case, Robin and I. Dad 6 feet tall, mom 5 feet tall, children 6'4". Good thing. We grew them bigger. Now we live close to a nuclear plant. That could be part of it. We don't know. But 6'4" kid, just kidding. 6'4" kids, right? Same thing happens with pumpkin, squash, etc. So we plant a seed here. We cross-pollinate. There are two parts to the plant. There's a male and a female. So the female looks like a little flower. So we can see a little female. Ta-da, right there. So the little female plant opens up like a flower, and then we, as human beings or growers, do the pollination. So we take the male portion of the plant, rub it into the female flower will close up. The female is open for about 1 week. And you need to do the pollinating before the bees come in to pollinate, because who knows what they're pollinating with. So you have to be up at 6 in the morning, run out, make sure your plant's open. Plant's open, do the pollination, closes up. The result is right there. Isn't that cute? That is a little baby pumpkin.
It's got a long way to go to come to Pumpkinfest.
Long way to go. So let's do this. We're going to walk over here. Little baby pumpkin, 3 months later, becomes that.
Somebody was out there trying to convince people that that big pumpkin was like 2 years old. No, it is not.
Oh, no.
It grows
3
from
months.
May to now.
So that's what happens. At its peak, pumpkins are going to grow about 50 pounds in a day.
So Chris, is this yours as well? All right, he's got a bushel gourd.
Because Chris is a good guy. We like him now. So does Joseph. He's like, I used to have a lot of friends. Now I have Chris. Another bushel gourd. And our leader's 259. That is Doug Court. Well, this one's not going to the lead, but we're going to be a top 5 for now. 154.5 pounds. Give him a nice round of applause. 154.5 pounds. You have to have a picture taken with it, Chris. Friend Chris, you have to have a picture taken with it. I know. Yes, that one counts. Show it some love. Give it a hug. Maybe a kiss. I think you should. Chris, I think you should. Oh, good boy. So, now the problem. See, Ralph has passed on the desire to grow to Joseph. Joseph has somehow bribed Chris into growing. We don't know what's next. So it's gone from 1 grower in Barrie to 3, and I guarantee you there'll be 5 of them here next year. It'll just keep growing more and more and more.
We've got a number of sunflowers that have come in. Some of the growers have to officially check in and get theirs. You see the little pieces of papers that the judge takes from them. They need that for it all to be official. But not only do we measure sunflowers as to how tall they are, but we do sunflower faces as well. You will see on the leaderboard, this is Courtney's. It measures, and they do diameter, 20 inches. So this is our leader right now. I saw that she has another one back there. She was taking all the seeds off of it. The birds took all of this one. But that is one big sunflower.
And if it happens to be our champion sunflower today, it'd be worth $75 to her. So what do you do with a sunflower? For the most part, plant and let it grow. Just keep supporting it, right?
Oh, no, shoot.
All right. Next up, we're going to the pumpkin category, and your name again and where you're from.
Nathan Hogendorn from Clinton.
It's always good to get you in from Clinton. I heard the hockey team is not playing this year, right? You're not a hockey guy. That's all right. I referee in the senior league. They're taking the year off.
No.
Yeah, you should. Well, now you know in case somebody asks.
Yeah.
All right.
No radar games this week.
No. All right. Tell me about the growing season just outside of Clinton.
I was pretty good. We got a bit of stem rot near the middle, so I had to put a fan on it, use some sulfur, but otherwise it was pretty good.
So what people just heard was blah, 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 blah. So tell me what you mean when you say that. Obviously you saw some rot developing on the stem, and that can really quickly kill the plant.
Yeah. So I want to get that stopped as soon as I can, and the sulfur kind of helps dry it up, but that wasn't working, so I had to use a fan. As soon as I put the fan on, it dried up in 2 days, and then it could keep going.
All right. But then it gets solid, otherwise it stays soft and can get more issues. So, okay, good. All right, so for those of you who think it's plant and walk away, he just told you that's not true. How many hours? Have you ever calculated how many hours this takes?
No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a very bad idea. So, this is a solid pumpkin coming in at second on the leaderboard. Nathan's pumpkin in 1,188 pounds. Give him a good round of applause. That is a solid effort, especially, Robin, especially considering that pumpkin almost didn't make it with that problem.
And those are the kind of things that you're going to learn if you go to pumpkinfest.org and the Giant Vegetable Growers of Ontario website. Not only where to get seeds, but what to do as you're doing the process, what to look for, and if you're starting to see some rot, some cracks, what you can do to make sure that that plant survives. Because the growers, they want to get people hooked, is basically what they want to do. They want more growers to be here. They want the growing to continue. They want to get people like this young gentleman staring at us.
I know, it's weird, right? This is completely, hey, how are you? Completely weird, this whole thing. Like, look at the size of this. It's completely
It's a lovely
weird.
hat.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is one leaf from giant cabbage. So what you buy at the grocery store grows down at that end. It's called the head. There's a head in giant cabbage as well, but these leaves are what grow around it. Approximate size of an elephant, an African elephant ear. And so that's the difference. It's just simply size, and size comes from pollinating and taking care of the plant in a very, very different way. Wow, eh? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I know. There it is. That is one leaf from a giant cabbage. This one weighed in at 42 pounds?
Yes.
41 and a half. There you are. All right, just to give you an idea about some of the other weird stuff that we have here. Day number 2 of Port Elgin Pumpkinfest again. And big thanks to Bruce Power. I can't remember a day they haven't been a sponsor of the Grow Off. We used to call it the Grow Off tent. It's now the Grow Off building. Thanks to the folks from the Missionary Church for allowing us to be in here for 2 days at this time of the year. It's made for a very easy way off to do. We had problems in the past, like wind blowing down the tent, hail, snow, the list goes on and on and on. And
Being inside makes a world of difference. And not only Bruce Power, I have to say a big thank you to all our sponsors on the gold side of things. We also have Bruce Telecom, we've got Enbridge, we've got OLG. I'd like to say a big thank you to Vanderwerf's and to Foodland. They have been feeding the volunteers. Port Elgin Home Hardware, they play a big part of what we are going to do after this. We've got some children who took on the chore, I guess you could say, of growing a pumpkin, seeing what they could do. So we're going to see that starting at 12:30, the result of all their hard labor. The province of Ontario, the town of Saugeen Shores, we've got, I have to get closer. We got Sunbelt. People need to make their font a little bigger. But we definitely, and 97.9 The Bruce, not to blow my own horn because that's where I work, but all our sponsors are absolutely wonderful. We cannot do this without them. Please have a look at the signs and support those people because they are a very important part of the community. We've got a pumpkin. Oh, it's Doug. Where's Doug? Here he comes. The Court family, they keep us busy at the Grow Off. Well, what happened?
We're going to need some help here for this little baby.
So is this a pumpkin or a field pumpkin?
It's a pumpkin.
Alrighty.
The best I could do.
That happens. There are years it works, there's years it doesn't.
I know. I had deer attacks and animal attacks, mice attacks, but that's the best I could do. But I'm here.
You know, it's bigger than anything I've ever grown.
True.
Yes, that is something else that, yeah, I mean, obviously your pumpkin is outside, is in a field. Wildlife, they look at that and go, ooh, there's lunch for the next 5 days. We've got it on the scale. The judge looks it over, looking for any holes that hopefully don't go all the way through. Oh, we found a soft spot. It's not through, so we're good. So we have got 298 pounds. That will, for the time at least, get him on the leaderboard. So a nice round of applause. It was a good effort, not what he was hoping for, but it's still, as I said, it's better than anything I've ever grown. As people are coming in to the Bruce Power Way Off area, welcome. Please, by all means, walk along the chain, have a look at all the interesting things that we have for you. The sunflowers, the cabbage, the long gourds, the tomatoes, the sunflower faces on the table. Take your pictures and please move along the chain and then have yourself a seat. We would love for you to stay with us. We do have some still bigger pumpkins and squash to be weighed. We'll show you some of the more unusual things that we have coming in as well. But if you could move along the chain and find yourself a seat, because there are some people who are seated, and right now all they can see is your back, and they're not happy. So please find a seat and stay with us. As we've got another, is this your pumpkin? Oh. This would be Joseph's pumpkin. What are you thinking?
I'm hoping 650.
All righty. That's a good guess. When they are around this size, the walls are a whole lot thicker. It's a nice color.
Yeah, I was happy with it.
Uh-oh. So we've got it on the scale. Judge has looked it over. Looks good. And you were close, 668 pounds, which gives them about fifth at this point. Give them a hand.
Sorry, I'm coming back. I'm coming back, dear. I went on a hunt.
Well, we've got, I said, the court family keep us busy here. We got a lot of field pumpkins from the courts, and we've got a watermelon. We had Doug and Louise's weighed earlier, which were darn nice watermelons. The one that's there is Courtney's. I said, why did you bring that yesterday? She said, why? My 3.5-pound watermelon won second place.
That's true. I thought there was only 2 pumpkins when they came. I think they're mating.
They could be.
Yeah, I think they just had an extra one.
I don't know, that one's looking like a lot of green.
So I was hunting for, very specifically, these.
The pumpkin seeds. They are bigger than the ones that when you make your jack-o'-lantern.
All right, let's see if they can, I'll go in, help you with a tighter. So that is the size of a pumpkin seed. It's about an inch, roughly, thicker than the pumpkin seeds you're normally used to. Thickness has to do with what's inside that pumpkin seed. And what's inside is the stuff that eventually becomes an 1,800-pound pumpkin. These are called giant Atlantic pumpkins. It's a special strain of pumpkin, not the kind that you get, which is a pie pumpkin at your grocery store, or even small field pumpkins, which is what we're about to weigh for the Court family. By the way, I'm going to hand out some seeds. You can eat them if you want, but it's better to take it home and then go online, pumpkinfest.org, and find out how to grow that. With not a lot of effort, that'll end up at a couple 100 pounds in your backyard.
You do need a lot of room, though.
Yeah.
I will warn you, they're like cucumbers. They spread out everywhere. So I was just talking to Ryan Hicks. He has brought a few sunflowers. We had a couple of sunflowers that got held up in the measuring process because we were waiting for growers to be registered and get their pieces of paper. The one I do believe that is sitting at people's feet as you're going along the rail there is Ryan's at 188 inches. We did set a new North American record yesterday with a sunflower measured 335 plus inches. So we're talking a little over 28 feet. We tried to stand it up and we got to the beams, and that's as far as we could go because the flower, the head of it was too heavy. I mean, we didn't want it to fall off. But it was still only at a 60-degree angle, so it had a long way to go yet. So that's how tall our sunflower was yesterday. Still, 188 inches. That is a very nice sunflower. And it puts them at second place currently on the leaderboard. Courtney is leading the way with 202.5 inches for her sunflower.
And just took over the lead for field pumpkin at 122.5 pounds. So just about double the former leader. 122.5, correct? Yeah. That is a big field pumpkin. Courtney, was that one yours? The first one was Courtney, so she is the new leader. Now field pumpkin.
This is Louise's.
Louise, 118. Wow.
Louise doesn't look happy.
That was an angry. Did you get a close-up of that? Did you see? Come here, Louise. Come here.
The look of
Come
disappointment.
here. I want him to see the face. Come here. It's all right. I'll comfort you. I will comfort you. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Because remember, Doug still has to take you out for dinner tonight. Remember. All right. You'll beat his too, right?
Now his is something we should discuss. You'll see his field pumpkin has a lot of green on it. Part of the judges, especially when you get into the bigger pumpkins for the international weigh-off, the percentage of green that is on it will determine whether it is categorized as a squash or a pumpkin. It has to have a certain percentage of orange to be qualified as a pumpkin. As a grower, kind of in a way, you hope it's a squash. Because we had almost a 1,900-pound pumpkin that won yesterday. However, if you've got one that's like 1,200 pounds, but they say, no, it's a squash, you probably would win the category. Because squash don't tend to get as big as pumpkins.
So this now gets interesting. Courtney wins the family competition at 122.5. Louise finishes second at 118. Doug is last in the family category at 111. And as the rule goes in the Court household, he who loses buys dinner for everyone. No, he's buying dinner for everyone. That's the rule. And we are everyone.
Thanks, Doug.
I think we should all line up at the tornado potato thing here and see
Absolutely.
what we can spend. Okay, so what I'm going to do is walk around. I don't know how many I got, maybe 15 giant pumpkin seeds. Hold on. Don't be too excited yet. I'm going to give you a free giant pumpkin seed. The value is up to $500. Because if this happens to be a world champion pumpkin, that's what the seed's worth. So I got about maybe 15, 20 to give away. only if you swear you're going to try to grow it. Not just have it to show to your friends and go, well, look what I have, and then it ends up on the ground.
Get your foot off
right?
the scale,
That's
Courtney.
fair. All right.
Still get your foot off the scale. Here we got telling about how honest all these growers are. And now we know what Courtney, anyway. 187 and a half from Doug, but she's at 147. So that puts her in third. So does the same rule apply with the watermelons, Courtney, now that you are third in the family competition, that you as well have to buy a meal for everybody? We are going to be fed so well, thanks to the courts. Dave has a lineup for his pumpkin seeds. And what do we have? We have a squash that is waiting to come in. Do remember that the rest of Pumpkinfest, this is a nice place to be, nice place to find a seat and rest your feet, because Pumpkinfest involves a lot of walking around. But we do have the Cinderella's Carriage card show going on in downtown. We have the Midway still running. We've got the Giant Tiger Kitty Carnival. We've got the OPG tent, a lot of fun and interesting things going on there. We've got a lot of great live entertainment once again, thankfully this year. So make sure that you are walking around. Craft show, we've got the crafters back again this year, so make sure you get out and enjoy all that Pumpkinfest has to offer. But if you would like to join us in the Bruce Power Way Off area, please do have a look along the fencing, I guess you could call it that, at all the interesting things there, and then find yourself a seat so that everybody can see and watch as the growers have their few months of hard work recognized.
They're all gone.
Okay.
I had 20 people
who swore.
And it's a Sunday and we're in a church. So when you swore, just keep that in mind. All right.
So who does this belong to? This is you.
That's Joseph.
It is Joseph.
Joseph has a friend.
One friend.
That's
who abandoned him, it seems. He's over there. Oh, his job is now, he lifted all the gourds. Now with the squash, he is the picture taker. So in the squash category, we've got Bob and Elaine McKenzie doing quite well. It's 386. That'll put you in fourth. That's fourth. Fourth is good. 386 pound squash. Yes, indeed. Give them a round of applause.
These people are wearing out on us.
It's Sunday. I bet you half of them were at the Practically Hip yesterday, and they're just exhausted.
True. It's a 400-pound squash. When you came here today, you had never seen a 400-pound squash before. Now you've seen a 400-pound squash, but you've seen like a 1,000-pound squash. So you're becoming, tame to this whole
complacent,
thing.
Yes.
It's not right.
Still a good effort.
It's not right. Just a reminder, if you're standing up where the orange chain is in the building, I invite you to turn around and look behind you. See those people who are angry? It's because you're standing in front of them. So please just walk along, see whatever you want to see, take a picture. If you want to stay, we got lots of stuff yet to weigh and measure, but we ask you to take a seat in the stands that are provided. That way everybody will get a chance to see. On display here in the building from yesterday, the second place pumpkin, and that one came to us from Jeff in Englehart, Ontario. It's about 2.5 hours north of North Bay. Second place pumpkin on display. That pumpkin weighs 1,808.5 pounds. It is one of the largest we've ever weighed at Pumpkinfest in the history of this event. Radish or rutabaga? They qualified it as a beet. All right. All from roughly the same category. So beet, right there. Again, multiple seeds grow together. If we turn the end, yeah, well, kind of like that. You can see that there's one here, and one here. It's actually 3 that grew together to become that big. going to be under the other category. All right, how much? 13.6? Yeah, 13.6 pounds. Once again, we put the unusual things on display for you to see. They're on the table at the far end of the building if where you came in was from the road. My name is Dave Middleton, 29 years worth of hosting Pumpkinfest. The other co-host, Robin Woods, the midday host from 97.9 The Bruce. It's just because I'm old now, so it takes a lot more work. That is the cucumber from yesterday, for sure. So do you want to take that on a little tour? That's good. You're doing a heck of a job. That's why you're here. I love it. Okay, that is a cucumber. Hello, Kenneth. That is a cucumber. Now, hasn't turned green yet. That also comes from Jeff Warner, Englehart, Ontario. But that's what they look like before they ripen and they're big. That's about 17 pounds. Or roughly what you and I gained since COVID started. Roughly. We have roughly grown the size of a giant cucumber. You guys are laughing. I put on the same thing, and then I'm in front of 2 cameras, each one 10 pounds. There's 40 pounds. I didn't do a thing. Just about lunchtime, so I see lots of you taking advantage of all the different food. What'd you guys get? Oh, what are they? Funnel cakes. Bring one here. No, I'm not going to eat it.
Yes, he is. Don't get too close.
Come here, Joanne. All right. No, come on over to here. I just want the camera to take a picture of this. Look at this. Look at this. Can you zoom? Funnel
Can you bring that here for a second?
Strawberries, whipped cream, and sugar. If there's a physician watching, turn away.
All right, now behind you, we talked about them.
Oh, look
Here's
at
your
these.
tornado potatoes. Now he's eaten some of it. Are they good?
Yeah.
Yeah, mouthful. So lots of great, none of it good for you, but it is so good.
So-
Make sure you check out the food court.
Poutine, burgers, fries, all the normal stuff. The Lions Club was down there with breakfast. I know they had like sausage on a bun, pea meal bacon on a bun.
And the Rotary Club is there as well,
Rotary Club.
a little further down the street.
If you're hungry, it's your own fault. You walk past 7 food things. Stop, for goodness sakes. Get some. Wow.
We've got a pumpkin coming with a lot of vine on it. That's all going to have to come off.
Should say a big thanks to Vanderwerfs, your independent. So there's a special area for the growers. When the growers come in, they register whatever items are going to grow. Then there's an area, we got food. You can see a blue tent at the other end. There's food in there, there's muffins in there, all the stuff provided by Vanderwerfs. And then they bring like bagged lunches, so there's like a mystery sandwich in here. You don't know what you're getting. But you get a bag.
Sandwich.
And
It's
then,
a good sandwich.
it's
Don't
a
make it
great
sound like
sandwich.
it's mystery meat or
It's
something.
a great sandwich. So you get like a sandwich or a bun, and then there's juice, and there's like fruit
There's
in
fruit,
there.
there's vegetables. They feed us well.
Yeah, I don't eat the vegetables. I think I'm allergic. So
Yeah. We're at a place you cannot be allergic because we're surrounded by vegetables. Do we have a grower who belongs to this pumpkin? Everybody's pointing to everybody else. It's a nice looking pumpkin. Somebody should take ownership.
I think I got roast beef.
The one I had yesterday had multiple. I gotta get away from the speaker.
When you become a volunteer at Pumpkinfest, the word volunteer is accurate. You don't get paid, but you get fed really well and only have to work 40 hours in one weekend. So quite honestly, it's like the worst job ever. But How about the best job ever? Because this event, the largest event in the community, brings 50,000 people to Saugeen Shores in one weekend. It is the largest two-day car show anywhere in the province of Ontario and generates millions of dollars in revenue for the businesses and for the communities in the area. And some of that you contributed today when you arrived on the Pumpkinfest site. So
We found a grower.
thank you. Well, how could you not find him? It's the largest family to take part in Pumpkinfest.
But this is the first time we've seen you today, yes?
It is, yeah, it is.
And what are you thinking with this one?
It's okay. I don't think it's gonna be top 3, but we'll see. I'm hoping over 1,000.
Well, over 1,000 would make you third. What else do you have for us today?
Tomato. That's it.
That's it?
So this is Joel Jarvis, Joel, Christine, and the crew.
And your tomato did well, did it not?
I think it was 6 pounds, 6.1, yeah.
Yeah, nice. You're leading in the tomato category. That's the one I had earlier.
It is.
Yes.
And you guys ended up staying in Kincardine, I heard last night, because you couldn't get a room in town, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Well, plus they have, what's your family now, 12? So you...
We needed a suite.
Yes, I know that.
We needed a suite, yeah.
And entertainment for the kids.
Well, you were hoping for 1,000.
1,136 pounds. Ooh, almost second spot.
Well, that is third.
Third on the leaderboard. Give Joel a nice round of applause. Family travels to join us at Pumpkinfest all the way from St. Thomas, Ontario, the home of Jumbo. Well, I mean, where something bad happened to Jumbo, but Jumbo.
I think Jumbo just got more applause than...
Yeah, Jumbo got a round of applause. You guys know what happened, right? Train, Jumbo, not good? Yeah. Yeah, not a good thing. There's the rest of the family over there. Can we get a shot of the rest of Christine? Smile. Right there. Turn a little more. Turn a little. She's putting her hands in the air. Christine and the kids. Everybody
We saw
smile.
Christine
There they are.
yesterday. She did quite well with the vegetables she brought. Yeah.
There's another perfect example of what happens. Somebody in the family starts growing things like pumpkins and squash and whatever, and then somebody else ends up growing, and then all the kids come to Pumpkinfest one time, and they fell in love with the announcers.
Yeah, that was it, Dave.
I'm just kidding. Actually, they went to the kiddie carnival, and the rest is history. So all the money that the Jarvis family makes when they come to Pumpkinfest, they leave here. It's just like food and rides, and the next thing you know, the kids have to have craft dinner.
We have
for
a
the
lot
next
of fun, and I mean, our kids are exactly the same.
Absolutely.
They are to that age where they have other commitments on this weekend, and they are just so sad that they can't be here, because when they were younger, there was Christmas, their birthday, and Pumpkinfest. Those were the three things they look forward to in the year. It ranked quite high, so make sure you bring the family and take it all in.
Yeah, hopefully your family is here next year. Would we have some first? How many people are first years? Never been to Pumpkinfest before? It's okay, admit it. Put your hand up. Good. It's okay. You can admit it. It's not. You didn't shoot anybody. You're okay. Great. First year. Good. I'm always interested. What made somebody come to Pumpkinfest? You just hadn't been here before? Thought, this would be cool to see. And now you regret every minute of what you did. No. All right, good. Yeah, it is such a fun event. It's everything you make of it. The way off part, it's just a part of what's going on here. I wish people who are watching on the internet could tell everything else that's happening. I can see through the doors of the missionary church over to the Midway. The Midway, solid packed. Friday night, they made a special offer, $30, all you can ride, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. It was jammed with people all night. The kiddie carnival here, the car show, the food vendors, you name it. There's just so much that happens. And then the evening entertainment, practically hip last night. We had, woo.
So you asked about first-timers. We got a first-timer over here.
Where are they from?
Yeah.
Feversham.
Feversham. That's not that far. Where you been?
In Feversham.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're so glad that you ventured out of Feversham and you're having yourself a good time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome here.
She will be back.
I'll be back.
Well, bring her in here.
All right, step over the chain. You're
Come on.
not.
I want, who are you here with? Like just yourself? You got some other people. Who else is with Feversham here?
I've been there. I worked there. At the transfer.
The young guy who's hiding? Hey, young guy, bring your phone over here. Jacob? Jacob, bring your phone over here. Come here. This is very special. We don't normally let people. I'm Dave, by the way. We don't normally let people inside. I want you to just. Oh, love it. Hug it. No, not me. Hug it. All right, there it is. All right, Jacob, take a picture. Here, you'll never get this opportunity again. All right, take a picture. We are going to be not world famous. We'll be Feversham famous after this. Oh, did that feel anything like you thought that pumpkin was going to feel?
No, it's so hard.
Well, it's supposed to be, otherwise you would currently be in it. Yes, it is. Well, it's 1,800 pounds. You'd feel like cement if you were 1,800 pounds too. Yeah, luckily you're not. All right. You just soft and squishy? Nope. Comment? Zero? We've been married a long time, and there's a reason I'm still married. What are you doing? What is this?
This is from Kelly Cook, who lives over in Southampton, decided to bring it. It is kind of ornamental, but it is an Easter egg plant. And you will see that they actually do look like Easter eggs. The one that's just above my thumb here is kind of an orangey yellow. That's about the color that they get to. So we understand. This is all according to Kelly. It's just very cool. So she brought it. She brought it, and it's in an unusual entry, and you can see that on the table over here.
Wow, I have never seen that before. We used to get, I haven't seen it for a couple of years, but some people in Ontario got into growing something called amaranth. And it is a big, tall, it looks like asparagus, but like big, tall asparagus. It actually is pain medication. If you crush up the leaves, in Europe, they crush the leaves up and ingest it, so it's pain medication. We haven't had them for a little while.
All right, he's back.
Here comes room 36 again.
This is the one I think all the other growers were fearing today, which makes me think this will be one of our final entries to be weighed.
Sounds good. Put her on there.
So yes, we have Bob and Elaine McKenzie. They were quite shocked that their pumpkin weighed in at 1,402.5 pounds. They are currently sitting atop the leaderboard, but they saw this one and thought this might be the one. Did you do any of the measure? You got any guess?
It measures that it would be about 1,602.
Still, very. And so everybody knows, if you weren't here earlier, this is the gentleman that belongs to this one over here, which was our second place entry from yesterday. Yeah, give him an 1,800 pound plus pumpkin. And then dragged all his friends from Englehart. So Dave is covering everything up so you can't see.
Oh, yeah.
Judge is checking it over. 1,400, 2.5 pounds is what we need to beat.
What did he guess?
By the tape measure was 1,602.
You need to buy a new tape measure.
Woo! That almost beat yesterday's.
1737.5. Oh,
That's a good surprise.
That's 3,600 pounds worth of pumpkin you need to put on a trailer and take back home.
All the way home. The Horseshoe Valley is the fun spot.
Oh my goodness,
I never
yes.
even thought of the Horseshoe Valley Hill.
Gotta go through Barrie, just avoid that altogether.
You got the 400.
I know, but still, that's better than taking Horseshoe Valley hills and these pumpkins.
Okay, so we mentioned something.
Okay.
How long does it take you to get home because everywhere you stop, people are going to want to take pictures, they're going to want to see this, they're going to want to ask questions. I'm going to ask you that in a sec. Bob wants to take a picture too.
Yeah.
Bob is taking a picture of the pumpkin that beat him. They're like the best sport ever. All right, so what is it like? You got, how long, 7 hours home? 9. 9? Okay. And you got 3,600 pounds worth of pumpkin plus everything else that you have. It's on a trailer, you're driving home. I got to pee. You pull over to the side, find a place, go to the bathroom, you come outside. There's 100 people around taking pictures, asking questions. How long does it really take you to get home?
Well, the 9's probably with those stops. Okay. So you try not to stop too much, other than it is kind of fun. But to stop for gas is a 45-minute stop. No, by the time people take pictures and talk to you, and they always ask if it's real, and do you feed it milk? It's one of those things. Yeah. So it's just fun. You got to stop sometimes.
You do. And the whole point of doing this, other than getting the seeds and trying to make your next one bigger, is for people to look at it, because quite honestly, what else are you going to do with it?
Yeah, exactly. Sits in the yard, and basically everybody smiles when they see one. You can't look at them and not smile, or there's something wrong with you.
Or when you grow them, there's also something wrong with you, yes.
True, yeah, I guess so.
Give Jeff a nice round of applause. 2 giants here this weekend. Second spot yesterday at 18:08, and today 17:37 and a half. And it looks like that's likely going to be our pumpkin champion today. Wow.
Do make sure you have a look, walk along the chain and see the different things that we've got. Not only that Easter egg plant that I was holding up, we've got our leading tomato, which was even bigger than yesterday's tomato at 6.1 pounds. We have got the biggest sunflower face. Got a 17-pound cucumber. We got a beetroot over there, a marrow that is sitting on the ground in front, and you'll see something beside it. We had one of those yesterday, and he's brought another one. It's just going to be judged within the other category, but what looks like you might guess parsley or cilantro, it's actually celery. We've got one of our judges coming over. Isn't it the cucumber from yesterday?
That's today's cucumber.
It's another cucumber, though.
That's today's cucumber.
So we lied. We thought it was yesterday's cucumber. It's another cucumber from today. And what one, how much did it weigh in it?
Don't ask me that. It was a while ago.
Well, you came here with it. You need to have this kind of information for me when you come over here. But make sure you have a look at all the entries over there. We've got a lot of sunflowers that have been measured. And of course, some of our other pumpkins from today. But make sure you move along and then find yourself a spot, because we are about to move into the children's category. As we mentioned, we had a number of children. We gave them the opportunity to grow some pumpkins, so we're going to see how well things went for them. And then we're going to clean out the building at about 1:30 so that Splash and Boots can set up, and they will entertain at 2:30 for the family.
And that, by the way, we should mention, for those who are on the site and you have kids, Splash and Boots is included in what you paid to get into Pumpkinfest. It's not an additional price. You just come back here to the facility just before 2:30. They're going to let you in. I don't know what they charge for a regular show, but it'll be more than what you paid to get into Pumpkinfest.
We are a little beyond that.
Yeah.
Our children we've got grandchildren coming, but we haven't quite got to the Splash and Boots age. But everybody's quite excited about this. So it is obviously a very big thing to have Splash and Boots here. As I mentioned, we are going to empty the building at 1:30, so a great opportunity for you to use the facilities, get something to eat, and then we'll bring everybody back in time for the show at 2:30.
So we're going to do the kids portion of the way off here in just a few minutes. And then actually for the growers, just so you know, we're likely doing your awards in the back parking lot, because we have to vacate the facility for them to set up the show. So for any of the growers, we'll be leaving the building and going to the back parking lot. There's a staging area behind the building. That's where we unload. There's also a bunch of pumpkins on display. The big pumpkins that
and
the
we will
larger
move these
that we
bigger
yes.
pumpkins outside at the fence by the midway. If you'd like to see them outside, we're not going to hide them in here or anything. You will be able to see them outside.
Right. So we are going to take a break right now for the broadcast. We're going to give you guys a few minutes to relax, but we are going to come back in just a few minutes and introduce you to about 20 of the future growers of Port Elgin Pumpkinfest. So time to go to the washroom, time to get a drink if you're at home. If you're here, same thing, although most of you are eating anyway. Thanks for eating in front of us. You didn't offer nothing, eh? All right, whatever. Oh, we got one more. Sorry, we got one more squash. Never mind. Let's get it in
We're
here.
going to do a squash.
And I'm going to guess it might be Ralph. It's Ralph.
You can always tell because the growers are walking beside it. Once it gets into the harness, they're very nervous,
Ralph,
making sure that it makes it.
Ralph, can you go? He's going to go talk to Robin this time. Ralph, if you can talk to Robin this time. So
You're the
squash.
final one of the day. What do we got? Squash?
10:35 is our current leader. 10:35.
No, he says no. What are you thinking?
Fourth. No, I'm looking at gourds. Where's the?
The second one, second column.
You need
Oh,
370 or better to be fourth.
Yeah.
You're thinking that's good?
All right.
Okay.
If it isn't, I should go home.
No, we don't want you to. Well, I mean, eventually you are going to have to go home, but we want you to come back. And you brought a number of people with you this time, so that's a good thing.
We have a convoy.
That's what we're looking for.
So if it could get up to over 732, you will disappoint Doug Court.
And he's had a disappointing day as it is.
He's
so
had a tough day.
I don't know if we want to do that.
Oh, that's heavier than you thought.
It is. It is. I thought it might have been 650, 675.
702 and a half. 702 and a half. Give him a good round of applause.
For fourth.
It's four. You could not grow a 700-pound. Well, maybe you guys could, but you couldn't grow a 700-pound squash. You should clap for those kind of things. So he's right. He predicted fourth. I think he was a little closer to third than he thought, though. How much did that surprise you by?
By pounds, you mean?
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was going to be middle 600 range, really. So yeah, that's a nice surprise.
Nice surprise. And the other big surprise is you brought enough people that you don't actually have to load your own trailer. They could do that for you. They're much, much younger.
Can I get that in writing?
From them. From them. Actually, from them. From the friend. All right, there you go. There's our way off portion. Thank you very much, as normal, to all of our growers. What an amazing job they've done for us again this year. The time, the effort, not to mention the cost of everything that they have to put into these. We really appreciate. We have the best group of growers. They come back year after year after year because of the kind of fun they have is really the trigger for them. You guys show up. That gives them somebody to show them to. They make a little bit of money just to cover some of the costs, and then they go home and they say, I got to come back, because the biggest crowds are at Pumpkinfest every year, and that's because of you guys and those of you watching at home online. We certainly appreciate that. So let's take a look at it. It looks like who will be our winners on the leaderboard. Looks like our pumpkin champion for Sunday will be Jeff Warner out of Englehart, Ontario, a couple of hours north of North Bay, 1,738 pounds. Squash category, Bob and Elaine McKenzie from Tiverton at 1,035 pounds. Our watermelon champion today, Doug Court, 187.5 pounds. Our field pumpkin winner, Courtney McGuire from Port Elgin, 122.5 pounds. The long gourd, Joseph Giffin out of Barrie. The last long gourd we got in at 85 inches. The cabbage winner, Bob and Elaine McKenzie out of Tiverton at 41.5 pounds. Tomato winner, Joel Jarvis from St. Thomas, 6.1 pounds. Our sunflower Height of 202.5 inches for Courtney McGuire, who also wins the Sunflower Face category at 20 inches. The winner of Bushel Gourd, Doug Court, one of the founding fathers of Pumpkinfest at 259 pounds. The Marrow category, Jeff Warner at 60 pounds. And it looks like the determined to be our winner of the other category is Jeff Warner's celery at 36.7 pounds.
Which is that group of greenery that you're staring at right there. That is his celery.
So those are all of our winners from today. How about a big round of applause for that scoreboard? That is as good a Sunday scoreboard as we've ever had. We are going to leave a bunch of items on display here for you to see. And as we said, we're going to take a quick break in the broadcast and here so we can get the kids in for the kids portion of the growing. We're going to introduce you to the future growers and give them the credit they deserve. And then we have to clear this building at 1:30. So we got our special kids show that can load in.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that.
And they're going to do the show at 2:30. So for those of you watching the broadcast, we will be right back to Pumpkinfest in Port Elgin.
Of profits from OLG go back to Ontario. So when we play together, we win together.
We are back, Port Elgin Pumpkin Fest, day number 2, here in the Bruce Power Growers Building, better known as Missionary Church in Port Elgin. I'm Dave Middleton. Co-host Robin Woods is over there right now just chatting with people, having a bun. It's all right, keep going. We got the kids way off now, so this is something unique that we brought into Pumpkin Fest this year. There are about 20 kids from this area that that contacted Pumpkin Fest and wanted to start growing things. So those kids have spent the entire summer growing something. We don't know what they grew, but we're about to find out. So what we're going to do, we need to make a quick announcement. First of all, any of the kids participating in the growing, please come towards the sound of my voice, to Jeremy, the guy in the orange. Come down and bring your item and your slip, your entry slip and your item. Please make your way towards the middle. A lot of them are on the back table. You're going to be impressed with what they grew. Come this way. So
now to say come to the guy in orange in this building.
Okay, the big guy in orange.
He's waving his arms in the air.
The big guy in orange waving his arms.
So come towards the sound booth and all the cameras.
We need to say a big thank you, first of all, before we go anywhere in this, to the folks at Home Hardware. Home Hardware in Port Elgin.
Yep.
Moment they found out we were going to do a kids competition, they were like, we're in. We are going to give gifts, certificates, prizes to those kids. Every single kid who's here today is going to get a ribbon because they took part, and they're going to get a gift from Home Hardware. Home Hardware said, here's $500. However many kids you get, split it up. Give them all something. So if we got 20 kids, each kid gets $25. Just for doing this, right? All right. So we're going to move them down this way a little bit. Move them down here.
I'll bring them over one at a time.
All
We'll introduce them and...
Come on over, right over here.
Bring your carrot.
All right, we're good? So we got...
I'll have a few words.
Yes, we got Doug Court. All right. So, Robin, let's talk to Doug Court first.
Oh, all right. He snuck behind me. All right.
Senior. So, I mean, we get enough of the growers that start talking to people about doing this that it's new growers every year. We see that. 2, 3, 4, 5 new growers every year. Really, this is the future of what this is all about. Where did this idea come from?
Well, we've talked for years, Dave, since you and Robin have been involved with Pumpkinfest, and as you said, a lot of the faces are familiar, but a lot of us are fairly senior. So we kept thinking, how do we get the kids out? How do we get the kids out? And we're always busy getting a new sponsorship. And then our coordinator, Joanne was speaking through her contacts, and before we know it, Home Hardware becomes a sponsor. And it's fantastic because Home Hardware provided their parking lot. The kids showed up. They provided us a tent. And it was unbelievable. And it just multiplied from there. Word got out. And today here we have, I didn't even count them all, Dave. There must
Close to 20. Close to 20. Yeah.
20. And out of that 20, one day we're going to get a champion pumpkin, sunflower, tomato competitor. And again, Home Hardware was so excellent in providing prize sponsorship. And they are here today. And maybe if from Home Hardware, if Jill like to say anything, she's here. There she is.
Sarah? All right.
Oh, she's right here, and she's actually brought a few little growers herself. So thank you very much for being a part of this.
Sure, we're excited to be part of it. I've been coming to Pumpkin Fest since I was the same size as them, so anything we can do to encourage the growers and keep Pumpkin Fest going, we're excited to be part of it.
Well, this is a good cross-section of what we've got going on, and so people know, each of our growers going to receive one of these lovely little blue ribbons. And we've got somebody who's very fascinated with her carrot. We're going to start with her.
Oh, wait, we got to do one more thing before
Okay,
we do that.
well, all right.
We got to introduce the judge. This is the most important part of what we do here at Pumpkin. Well, second most important part. I guess the most important part is we got people that grow things. Morgan was a grower who's become a judge. Paul, not here. He's already gone. He was the one who's taking care of pumpkins. You're going to have a difficult job here. What are we looking for today?
We're looking for young people that will grow for the future. And I know everybody's got something a little different here, and it's, you just got to congratulate them on doing a wonderful job and the interest they show, because that is a thing we have to encourage.
Correct. This is where the future food sources are, right here. All right. So, Robin,
As they
I'm going to
said,
let you
never
talk to
share a stage with children or animals, because there they go. Anyway, so we're going to start right here. Is this our grower here?
Okay, this is Isla and Polly. They
Okay.
grew together.
Oh, somebody's not happy.
Her carrot broke. That's okay.
Okay, we'll just get you to...
There you go. You show them your carrot.
So, what did you bring for us?
A carrot.
And how long did it take you to grow that?
I don't really know.
Well, that is a unique looking carrot.
What does it look like, Isla?
What do you think it looks like?
I don't know.
I don't, looks like a carrot with a bunch of bumps on it is what it looks like. She's got a little story. Oh, she's got a story. Well, can you tell us your story? No. I can't read it. I don't have my glasses.
Wait, you do the interviewing.
All right. So here is her story.
Robin will do the interviewing. Dave remembered his glasses. I'll do it. We planted our carrot seeds as bunny bait, hoping to see the Easter bunny, but it didn't work. So we continued to grow all summer, ended up with a lobster carrot.
A lobster carrot. That is a very good description. So thank you very let's have a round of applause. She
Yeah,
did a very
absolutely.
good job with her carrot. Did not see the Easter bunny, but she got a lobster carrot.
I think you might have to interview Mom on this one.
All right, yes. But he loves the camera.
Oh, he does. He's not shy at all.
So who is this?
This is Landon, and this is his big sister's pumpkin.
And big sister is?
Arwen.
She's wandered off. That's the way a Pumpkinfest is, but that is a pretty looking pumpkin.
Pretty near perfect.
All right.
He's fascinated with this.
Oh, he's just going to take it.
He's just good. Take it and go. So, and who is this?
Wait, we got to give him a round of applause.
Yes, absolutely. Well, sister, wherever she is.
Whole family.
Whole family.
My name is Andy, and I brought a field pumpkin.
And do you have any idea how much it weighs?
Yeah, around 15 pounds. Yeah.
15 pounds. That's a very good first start. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations. Did you enjoy doing the planting?
Yeah. At first we just planted it but we weren't intending it to bring it, but we just ended up bringing it just for fun.
So next year you'll maybe pay a little more attention and see how big you can go?
Yeah.
Going to be a part of Pumpkin, like the actual way off tomorrow, next year?
Yes.
Excellent. That's what we're looking for. Okay, here's something nice. Here's something different. Who are you?
I'm TJ. Same family, all four.
Okay, all four. Well, I'll get down to you. So why did you decide to do a pepper?
It's just the biggest thing in our garden. It's a pepper.
But it is a nice looking pepper. I bet you're taking that home now and you're going to eat it for supper.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's a perfect pepper.
That is a perfect pepper.
What more could you wouldn't buy that in a grocery store.
Well, you would because it looks so pretty.
As nice as that.
You're right.
They're all smaller.
Yeah, that is a very nice pepper. Congratulations. Did you help with it? Did you help with the pepper? And your name is?
Sophia.
Well, congratulations. You did a very good job. Now you have got a squash.
Yeah.
And your name?
Lane.
And do you know what kind of squash it is?
No.
That is called a butternut squash. That makes darn good soup, if you know. Well, it is. I make soup out of mine. I do too. Did you enjoy growing it?
Yeah.
A little more, as much work as you thought? More work than you thought?
Keep the weeds out of the patch.
The weeding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the weeding. Oh, nobody likes the weeding. Congratulations. That's, oh, now you've got a greener pepper, and your name is?
Clayton?
And did you, so all of you were taking care of the same plant, or is this a different plant?
It's, I think, the same plant.
But it was a group effort.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
You going to try it again?
Probably.
Something different?
Probably.
Like?
Maybe a pumpkin.
All right, that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. Congratulations, that's very nice. And you are?
Mason.
And what do you have?
A pumpkin, but they said you'd call it a squash.
I don't know. What are you thinking, Judge?
I think it's a pumpkin that just needs to be in the garden a little longer.
It happens, right? Did you? It is a darn good start. Do you think you'd? Do you think you're going to do it again next year? Maybe try for the way off?
Yeah, I did have a bigger one, but the bunnies ate to the center of it.
See, there you got to watch the wildlife. They do like those pumpkins. Well, congratulations. You did a great job.
Make sure you step her out a little bit and make Morgan come back. There you go. Yeah, right there. Stand beside it. All right.
That's okay. You don't need to. We're going to move the line further down here because we're getting out of camera range. We've got a kitty here. Would you like Dave to read your story? That's okay. You don't have to. What is your name?
Adriana.
And you chose to do a sunflower?
Yeah.
Well, you did a darn good job. Do you know how tall it is?
No.
73 inches.
73. Well, it's taller than you. That makes it pretty special. You did a very good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Are you going to try it again next year?
Yeah.
Get one bigger?
Yeah.
You betcha. Congratulations. A great job. All right, you look old for this. What is your name?
Hayden.
And what did you grow? Do you know what that is?
Zucchini.
A zucchini. And a pumpkin. Did your brother do the pumpkin? Sister? Or you, oh, your sister, I'm sorry. It's a pink, I should have known. It was a family effort?
Yes.
Well, you did a very good job. Those are some, look at the size of that zucchini. You're going to have that for supper now? Absolutely. Congratulations. Good job. All right, we'll keep the line going. Now, there is a nice looking pumpkin. And what is your name?
Evie.
Evie, and your name?
Alistair.
And Alistair, what did you grow?
A zucchini.
That's a very nice zucchini. Did you have fun doing the growing? Think you'll give it a try next year?
Yeah.
Something bigger? Would you do a zucchini again, or would you like to try a pumpkin or a sunflower?
Sunflower.
Sunflower. Well, there you go. We'll find some seeds for you. Very good.
She was so excited about her pumpkin, she picked it in August.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? The excitement level is all we are looking for. Now, you are actually in the grow-off. What did you have weighed earlier?
Giant pumpkin.
And do you remember what it weighed?
No.
But you were on the leaderboard. She was part of Pumpkinfest this year already. She was one of the first growers we had weighed in today. Do you remember? 482. 482 pound pumpkin. Absolutely. And you're going to try it again next year?
Yes.
Excellent. We will. And what about you? Are you going to grow next year?
So you need a field pumpkin.
Did you have a field pumpkin?
Yes.
Do you know how big it got?
45.
Holy cow, that's bigger than you. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this. This is awesome. Well, we got one. Oh my goodness, look at this. We'll move this way. On the other side of the scale, poor cameraman is going, you people are wandering too far away. So who grew this? And you are?
Aislinn.
You did awfully well. How long is it? Do you remember?
I don't actually know how long it is.
Well, we'll find out.
All right, judge is going to measure it. That is a very nice sunflower.
Home hardware gift certificate?
Sunflower, 150 inches. That would have put you in 5th on the leaderboard.
For me, this is like being married.
So are you going to try this again next year?
Yes.
Sticking with the sunflower?
Go, whatever.
You got all the stuff to do it, right? Well, thank you very much for being a part of it. You did a great job. Thank you. There you go. There are some excellent growers.
Is that not? Thank you very. I don't know what you do from this point. I'm sorry. That right there is as important as everything we did in the way off.
Absolutely.
I can't stress enough. If you're at home right now and you're interested in doing this, go on to the website, pumpkinfest.org, which is where you went to find the link anyway. Make sure that you go on there, look for the growers side, get all the details you possibly can. If you need to, get in touch with the Pumpkinfest folks. They'll put you in touch with growers.
But even if you go to the grocery store and even get them started with peppers, with zucchini, with stuff that you would grow in the garden anyway, get them interested in growing, because not only is it a lot of fun, they get to actually see a result from their hard work, and that is very important. It's very exciting for them.
And exciting for us, because we get to see...
Absolutely, that was just adorable, was that not?
We get to see new people, we get to see new things all the time. And oddly enough, I hear Pumpkinfest is coming back next year.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, because we likely would have nothing to do this weekend.
What else are you going to do on the weekend
Right,
before
yeah.
Thanksgiving anyway?
Yeah.
And that's always when Pumpkinfest is, the weekend before Thanksgiving. So if you're sitting at home and you're thinking, well, this all looks pretty cool, we want to see you here in person next year.
Well, we want to see you, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We want to see you at the car show. We want to see you at the Midway. We want to see you at the Giant Tiger Kitties Carnival. We want to see you at something. Get out, get involved in the community. It's the biggest event this time of the year anywhere in this area. It's a ton of fun. We want to thank all of our sponsors. There's such a huge list. They're all listed on the website. Please make sure that when you see the name of a sponsor of Pumpkinfest that can help you with some kind of service or something that you need, make sure you give them a call and tell them you heard about it here.
Yes, at Pumpkinfest.
Yeah.
A big thank you not only to the sponsors, but all the volunteers and the committee. Basically, the committee is going to take a week to get their sanity back, and then they're going to start planning next year. So volunteers, we can't do it without you. We can't do it without any of you, because you are the reason we do all of this.
Yeah, thank you very much to the crowds. Yesterday, probably a record crowd. We've just heard so many great things about yesterday. At one point, you couldn't apparently walk in the car show. You had to walk over people to get to the next car. As always, how about a big thanks for Missionary Church?
Absolutely.
You guys are awesome.
This facility is amazing.
If you're looking for a place to come for a service next Sunday, 10 a.m. right here, make sure you do it. Great group of people who are staying involved in the community and helping out. And October 16th.
October 16th for the pumpkin drop.
Yeah.
You betcha.
So, hey, listen, on behalf of Port Elgin Pumpkinfest, for all the people who are here at 1:30, we have to clear this building. Because what group do we have coming?
Splash and Boots is coming, but we need to empty the building first so they can set up and get their sound check done, and then we will let you back into the building to enjoy a great show.
So we have to vacate at 1:30, but we want you back here in the building at 2:30 for a great children's entertainers. Splash and Boots, it's going to be a fantastic show. No extra charge. It is included with the cost of getting into Port Elgin Pumpkin Fest. For those of you at home, if you're more than an hour away, you're not going to see that show because we're not going to broadcast that show, but you need to come here. And if you're not coming here, come here next year because we have entertainment on all the time. Right?
Absolutely.
All right.
All day long.
On behalf of Robin Woods, Port Elgin Pumpkin Fest, those of you at home and those of you here, thank you for making this another incredibly successful event. We're leaving the broadcast. We're not leaving Pumpkinfest. We still got stuff going on here. But thank you very much for making Port Elgin Pumpkinfest just as successful as ever. Have a great time. We're going to see you back here next year.
Of profits from OLG go back to Ontario. So when we play together, we win together.